After completing a home-and-home over the weekend with Chatham, Hyannis is back at McKeon Park for the second time in 3 days, this time to battle the Falmouth Commodores. Now, last time out here, the Falmouth Ball Club won 8-1 in a contest over Hyannis. This tonight will be the fourth of 6 matchups between the two clubs, second of 3 at McKeon Park. And in the first of 3, Falmouth took the game once again 8-1, highlighted by 2 Zach DeLoach home runs in a 3-hit night for the Texas A&M product. Hyannis in that ball game, 6 hits, just 1 RBI, coming on a Jordan Westberg RBI single. Falmouth looking more to their recent play. They've lost their last 2 games. Hyannis has lost their last 4, so both teams looking to ignite a little bit of a fire in terms of starting a little bit of a win streak. Hyannis sitting at 6-21-1 coming into the contest. Falmouth sitting at 3rd place in the West Division at 13-12-1. And to ignite that fire, both teams have a guy on the mound that are plenty capable of doing it. Connor Ash, the right-hander out of Missouri, getting the ball for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, as he's had some success against Falmouth already this season. For Ash, he'll be making his 7th appearance, 3rd start, and in his time against Falmouth between 2 different appearances, he's gone 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned, 5 walks, 11 Ks. And for Falmouth, Franco Alamon, all-star Franco Alamon, who has yet to give up a run in 3 starts or 16 innings pitched, an earned run rather, as he's making his 4th start of the summer, this time here at McKeon Park. It's Hyannis and Falmouth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. With that, we welcome you inside the broadcast. Hi, everybody. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe here with you, and thanks so much for spending your Monday evening with us. Brendan, a little bit of a delayed start time. It's 6:33 at McKeon Park, but baseball just about set to get underway. And these are 2 ball clubs that have, well, in just about every match, I guess outside the last one, it's been pretty even. As you look at the season record between the 2, a win for Hyannis, a win for Falmouth, and a tie between the 2, 9-9 out at Gov Fuller Field. So really, there's been some Hyannis success, there's been some Falmouth success, and it's been pretty back and forth. So what should we really expect here tonight?
Well, I think just judging by the last 3 times these teams have squared off, we're in for a pretty fair fight tonight. And 2 power arms on the hill. Connor Ash, last time we saw him, an unofficial game with the Orleans Firebirds here at McKeon Park on Friday night. That one got rained out in the 3rd inning, but Ash was really, really throwing the ball well. And you already talked about Alamon, an all-star this season here on Cape Cod, and he's been absolutely dynamite for the Falmouth Commodores.
Alamon once again making his 4th start of the summer. And it's funny you mentioned the rainout because both of these guys on the mound tonight have experienced a rainout. Both Connor Ash was pitching in the middle of a ball game, absolutely cruising before a rainout. Franco Alamon, more of the same, as he was pitching against Hyannis back earlier in the season against Tyler Madison before that game was rained out. But tonight, those 2 set to toe the slab for their respective ball clubs, as Hyannis and Falmouth are set to go at it in the 4th of 6 matchups between the 2 clubs. National anthem coming up, so we'll take a break right here and come back on the other side with lineups and first pitch. Commodores and Harbor Hawks set to go at it on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Connor Ash takes the rubber for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as the boys in white and blue with a shade of orange have taken the field, set to battle the Falmouth Commodores. Ash getting loose on the mound. Once again, he'll be making his third start of the summer, 7th appearance, although you could call it 4th unofficial start and 8th unofficial appearance after his last time out against Orleans got cut short. So Ash, the righty out of Missouri, set to face a Falmouth lineup that goes like this. Tim Tower will be leading off, the Stanford second baseman. He's a late replacement for Hayden Cantrell out of Louisiana Lafayette, a late scratch for Jeff Trundy's club. He'll be followed by Austin Maisel, Zach DeLoach in the number 3 spot. Man, has he been hot lately. Trey Cruz hitting 4th and playing 3rd base. He'll be followed by Troy Clonch, Jackson Coots, Barron Radcliffe, Austin Langworthy, and Kevin Kendall, the UCLA shortstop, rounding out the 9. So Connor Ash getting loose on the mound. The Missouri right-hander comes into the day, 15 1/3 innings pitched. 12 walks, 25 strikeouts, an ERA just over 8 that he's looking to bring down by a healthy amount. So Brendan, Falmouth's offense has struggled a little bit over the last couple of games. Hyannis' offense has struggled a little bit over the last couple of games. What's really the X factor tonight in tonight's game?
I think it's what version of Connor Ash that we get on the hill tonight. Last time out in the unofficial appearance against Orleans, he was marvelous. But the couple of appearances before that, he struggled a little bit. He left his breaking ball up in the zone and didn't locate his fastball well on the inside and outside corners. So if Ash is locating his pitches well and keeping it down in the zone away from these Falmouth hitters, who you've mentioned have struggled over the past couple of nights, it should be an interesting one, and Ash should benefit.
So Ash just about ready to get set to go. One more time. In his last outing that went unofficial against the Orleans Firebirds, he had worked through 2 2/3 innings, hadn't given up a hit, hadn't given up a run, just 1 walk to Max Troiani, as well as 3 strikeouts as well. That was, of course, cut short due to the rain. Now Hyannis and Orleans set to make up that game a week from today on July the 22nd right here at McKeon Park. So Ash still getting loose. This should be the final pitch of his warm-ups. The Hyannis defense tonight that'll be behind him. From left to right in the outfield, Trevor Hoover, Rowdy Jordan, and Rigsby Mosley. And from left to right in the infield, Jackson Olsen, Jordan Westberg, Anthony Servideo, and Ian Fair. With All-Star and Home Run Derby participant Hunter Goodman behind the plate tonight doing the catching. So this will bring up Tim Tower, the Falmouth second baseman, and we're finally set to get underway from McKeon Park. The 4th of 6 matchups between these two ball clubs. The 2nd of 3 here tonight at McKeon Park. Falmouth will be making the trip out here one more time on July the 23rd, a week from tomorrow. And Hyannis will be set to play at Gov Fuller Field one final time in the last week of the season. As Ash, the right-hander, gets the sign from Goodman, puts the glove over the face, rocks and fires the first pitch, swinging a fly ball foul down the right field line, gets out of play, and just like that, we're underway at 6:42 p.m. A slight breeze blowing out toward right center field from McKeon Park, where it sits at 78 degrees. A beautiful day for some baseball. 0-1. Fastball just misses up high, and the count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. So Ash, no doubt, a high strikeout pitcher. He's been just that this summer. Tied for 12th in the league in strikeouts. Well, it likely would have been a bit higher if he'd been able to complete that last start against Orleans. So all those numbers washed away. He sets right at the belt. Now comes to the face, but Tawa's going to call time. Falmouth tonight sporting their road black jerseys with the maroon lettering, maroon undershirts, gray pants with the maroon belt and trim. Pitch, swinging a pop-up out of play behind the plate, and it's 1-2. Commodores also sporting the black helmets with the maroon F up on the top. For Hyannis, their home white uniforms. Blue pinstripes on the jersey tops and pant legs, blue belts, blue hats, orange lettering and numbering with the orange H up on top of the caps. 1-2. Swing and a high pop-up on the infield right side. This chases Servideo back onto the grass. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the grab 1 away. Towel retired. That'll bring up Austin Maisel with 1 down, and Connor Ash induces some weak contact to start the ball game. So Maisel's had himself a nice summer. It's been a little bit of a small sample size, but he's coming into the contest hitting .395. 15 for 38. He's only appeared in 17 games. As Ash is ready, gets the sign, now the first pitch. Swing and a miss from Maisel. That coming in at 90 miles an hour on the radar gun. It's 0-1. So once again for Ash, 25 punch-outs here in 2019 for the Harbor Hawks. Gets set, comes home, next offering, fastball spiked in the dirt. Ash standing at 5'11", 191 pounds. The right-hander out of the University of Missouri, hails from Plainfield, Illinois. Takes his time working from the first base side of the rubber. Gets the sign, delivers home. Fastball high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the heater's starting to ramp up a little bit. That one comes in at 93. Maisel just 1 RBI, was 0 for 1 last night, where the Commodores lost a contest to the Whitey Red Sox. 2-1. This is down low. Count moves to 3 balls, 1 strike to the left-handed hitting Austin Maisel. In that contest last night for Falmouth, they lost by a score of 7-0. Game only took 2 hours and 13 minutes. Whitey, of course, rolling. They sit at second place in the West Division. 3-1, swinging a foul straight back. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Austin Maisel. Whitey down 3 tonight, 3-1 as we currently speak to the Harwich Mariners. Once again, Falmouth losing their last 2. A 7-0 defeat last night. Looking to turn that around today. Ash gets the sign. He's going to rock and deal the 3-2 offering. Line drive right at the shortstop. Westberg, he raises the glove and makes the catch right at the face level. 2 away. Maisel makes some hard contact, but it's just right at the Hyannis shortstop. And it'll bring up Zach DeLoach. Well, you want to talk about hot. He's been nothing but it so far. Of the last week, Zach DeLoach is absolutely cruising. He leads the Cape League in average, .395. Also 4 home runs, 15 runs batted in. And 3 of those bombs have come within the last 8 days of play. Pitch from Ash. Swinging a fly ball out to left center field. This is chasing the center fielder, Jordan. Over, dives, can't make the grab. Gets into the gap. DeLoach thinking 2. Throw is cut off. And just like that, the Texas A&M product picks right back up where he left off with a 2-out double.
Well, you talk about DeLoach and how he's been swinging a steaming hot bat right there. Just shoots one into the alley. Rowdy Jordan gave it all he could. A full extension dive, just unable to come up with it with the ball in the webbing. And cruising into second, no problem, is DeLoach.
That'll bring up Trey Cruz. He's looking to make the most of an RBI opportunity. Falmouth threatening early with DeLoach on base. Ash will now work into the stretch. Right-hander gives the runner DeLoach a look, comes home. Ground ball right side. Servideo to his left. It gets past him, a base hit. DeLoach around third. Here comes the throw from Rigsby Mosley. 2 hops to the plate, but up the first base line, and DeLoach slides in safely. It's an RBI single for Trey Cruz, his 15th run batted in of the summer. And in the top of the first, Falmouth gets out 1-0 over the hometown Harbor Hawks. So all-star Trey Cruz wasting no time against the right-hander Connor Ash. Just sprays one through the right side. Servideo gave a diving effort moving to his left. Couldn't get there. Skipped into short right field. Mosley made a decent throw to the plate, but not quite on target as the runner DeLoach scored no problem. So now the hitter, Troy Clonch out of Oregon State. But to stay on the topic of Zach DeLoach, coming into tonight's contest, he was 26 for his last 56. And he's had a hit in 14 of his last 15 games. Now you can make it 15 of 16. Clonch the hitter. 2 away, 1 aboard. 1-0 Falmouth. The score as Ash throws over. Back safely, no problem. The runner, Trey Cruz, over at first. As Ash will get the sign, he's going to give the runner a look. He sets, fires home. Breaking ball up high. But DeLoach really turned it on, and in fact, what jump-started it was the last game these two squared off. July 9th at Hyannis, he went 3 for 4, 2 home runs, both of them no doubters, to go along with 3 RBIs. Ash gets the sign, works into the stretch, sets at the belt high level, fires over to first, a hard pickoff move, tag applied by Fair, but Cruz back safely. If that wasn't enough, just 2 days later, The Commodores traveled out to Chatham, where Deloach went 4 for 5 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Falmouth won that game by a score of 15-6. Pitch from Ash, swinging a foul back from Troy Clonch. It's 1-1. So for a while there, especially the last time Falmouth and Hyannis took part in a contest, Deloach and Jared DeSantala were in a dogfight for the league lead in batting average. After the conclusion of that game back on the 9th, Deloach held a firm grip on it. He was more in a two-way battle with Wyatt Young after that, as Ash fires home a breaking ball away. But you look a week later, it is all the Texas A&M product, Zach Deloach. No question about it. He's hitting .395. That's 30 points ahead of Wyatt Young coming into tonight's play, who sits at second place for YD. Ash the stretch. Takes a long pause, slide steps the 2-1, swinging a foul back off the screen, and it's 2-2 with 2 away. That double was the 6th on the summer for Deloach. That's now 10 extra base hits for the Texas A&M Aggie. Tyler Gentry of Brewster leads the doubles category with 9. But Zach Deloach, you better believe he's taking part in the All-Star game on Sunday. Ash ready with the 2-2 to Clonch. Breaking ball, called strike 3 at the top of the zone. So Clonch frozen to end the top of the first, but Falmouth strikes first on an RBI single from Trey Cruz to put the Commodores up 1-0. For Falmouth, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the first when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Harbor Hawks set to come to the plate on offense in the bottom of the first, as the Hyannis Ball Club will get their first look at the FIU right-hander Franco Alamon. 6'6", 220 pounds, hails from Tampa, Florida, as he's set to face a lineup that goes like this. Jordan Westberg will be leading off, followed by Rigsby Mosley, Trevor Hover, Hunter Goodman in the cleanup spot, Jared DeSantalo hitting 5th, and after him, Ian Fair, Jackson Olsen, Anthony Servideo, and Rowdy Jordan. So Alamon on the mound working from the first base side. Roxon deals the first pitch to Westberg, fastball for a called strike. So he quickly works ahead 0-1. Alamon, of course, has been absolute dynamite for Falmouth this summer. 3 starts, has not allowed an earned run in 16 innings pitched. 0-1, breaking ball low and away. Westberg last night, 1 for 4. He snapped a hitless streak out at Chatham last night, where he picked up a hit through the left side. Now the 1-1 from Alamon. Swing and a miss, and the count moves to 1-2. Of course, Westberg with the only RBI of the game the last time these two teams played off. That was right in the middle of his scorching hot start, where he went 12 for his first 20 with those 5 extra base hits. Alamon, 1-2 count, gets the sign from the catcher. Clonch fires home. Swing and a ground ball short up the middle. Moving to his right, the second baseman throws across his body. It's over the head of the first baseman, Coots. So Westberg beats it out with an infield single. Hyannis gets their leadoff runner aboard. And with one on, nobody away, it'll bring up Rigsby Mosley.
Well, Westberg with just a soft number up the middle that time. Tawa came in, gave it a great effort, had to make an off-balance throw moving toward the shortstop side of the field. Just a little bit high out of the reach of Coots.
So Mosley digging into the left side of the box. Falmouth defense tonight. Left to right in the outfield, Austin Langworthy, Austin Maisel, and Zach DeLoach. And from left to right in the infield, Trey Cruz, Kevin Kendall, Tim Tawa, and Jackson Coots. With the Oregon State Beaver, Troy Clonch behind the plate, and the FIU product, Alamon on the mound. Pitch to Mosley, swinging a high pop-up into shallow right center field. DeLoach patrolling in a little bit to his right in the gap, and he makes the grab for the first out. Westberg will move back to first base. And with one pitch, Rigsby Mosley's retired on an F9, which will bring up Trevor Hauver with one on and one away. So Alamon, a 3-pitch guy. Fastball that'll sit low to mid-90s. Also a mix in a changeup and a curve. Hauver now the hitter. He's going to dig in from the left side. Hyannis with 5 natural lefties in the lineup tonight. Also switch hitting Rowdy Jordan to make it 6 as long as Alamon or a right-hander's on the mound. Pitch to Hauver. Called strike, and it's 0-1. Hauver 0 for 3 yesterday in a game in which Hyannis lost 4-1 out at Veterans Field to Chatham. Once again, these two teams are 1-1-1 as a season record so far. Runner takes off, pitch to Hauver, breaking ball, throw down to second from Clonch on a hop, tag applied by the shortstop, Kendall. They got him. Westberg gave a headfirst dive, but retired for the second out of the inning. And the base runners erased as Franco Alamon delivered an off-speed pitch into the righty batter's box. Clonch gloved it, got up quickly, fired a strike on a hop to Kendall at second, who picked it out of the dirt and applied a quick tag to Westberg. So 1-1 the count to Hauver. Now 2 outs, nobody on. 1-0 Falmouth the score. Pitch, breaking ball, low and inside. Man, that thing sweeps from one side of the plate to the other. Didn't quite hit the zone there to the Sun Devil. The FIU product, Alamon, flashing a really, really sharp breaking ball there as he misses low with a fastball. The count will go to 3-1. So Alamon in his 3 starts has gone at least 5 innings each time. He went 6 innings on June the 29th at Bourne, where he didn't give up a run. 6 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Now the 3-1 to Trevor Hauver, swinging a pop-up foul left side out of play. So if you want to talk about walks, this at bat is set for a pretty good one. Hauver, of course, tied for the Cape League lead in walks with 20, along with Jamal O'Gwyn of Chatham. Meanwhile, for Alamon, he's given up 1 free pass in 16 innings of work, or now you can call it 16 2/3. Just 1 walk issued on the season, but he's got a 3-2 count with 2 away to Hauver. Out of the windup, sets at the letter high level, kicks and deals the full count offering, swinging a foul back, and Trevor Hauver stays alive. Alamon walked 20 in his season at FIU through 65 2/3 innings. 53 strikeouts with those 20 walks, where he went 3-5 with a 3.97 earned run average. Infield playing back, everybody straight up. Alamon gets the sign from Clonch. Rocks and deals the 3-2. Down low, ball 4. Alamon issues his 2nd walk of the season, and isn't it fitting? Trevor Hauver, the man who draws the free pass, his 21st walk of the summer. And he's aboard at first for Hunter Goodman. So from the Cape League's leader in walks to the Cape League's leader in RBIs. Goodman digging into the right side of the box. He kicks some dirt around the zone. He's going to look down the third baseline to head coach Chad Gassman. Goodman last night 1 for 4 at Veterans Field. He had a double out to left that one hopped the wall and was on a screaming line drive. Allen on the stretch delivers home. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. So 0-1 to Goodman. However, the runner at first base. It's 1-0 Falmouth in the inning. But Goodman, in terms of that RBI lead, he leads by 4 with 26 runs batted in entering today's play. Pitch, breaking ball, nubbed down the third base line, crashing in the third baseman. Cruz throws on the run to Coots in time. So Cruz charges in, makes the play, fires across the diamond, and that ends the inning. Trevor Hoover draws a 2-out walk, but will be stranded at first base. For Hyannis, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the top of the second. It's Falmouth 1, Hyannis 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Three left-handed hitters coming to the plate for Falmouth to begin the top of the second. It'll be Jackson Coots, Barron Radcliffe, and Austin Langworthy. Set to square off against the right-hander Connor Ash, back for inning number 2. Missouri Product stares in at the hitter Coots. Gives him a long look with a pause. Shaking off a couple signs from Goodman, now gets one he likes. First offering, breaking ball up high. So Connor Ash faced 5 batters in the top of the first. Recorded the first 2 outs, then gave up a double to Zach DeLoach and an RBI single to Trey Cruz, which has put the Commodores up 1-0 where we currently stand. Coots, the left-handed hitter, watches a fastball low from Ash, 2-0 the count. So Ash will flash 4 pitches: fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. Heater usually sits low to the mid-90s. Now the 2-0. Swinging a line drive out to right field. Mosley coming in, slides, and makes the grab. Nice read by Rigsby Mosley. Had to come charging in, the ball sinking quick on him, but gives a slide, and he takes the ball right away from the hitter Jackson Coots, has a single robbed of him. And that'll bring up Barron Radcliffe with 1 down.
Kind of an awkward slide there from Mosley. Not really sure if he wanted to come in and charge that ball or let it fall in front of him. He opted to go after it, and a wise decision, sliding and hitting the turf as he made the grab.
And it wasn't an easy ball to read either, so Mosley looked a little bit in between coming in. Like Brendan said, whether he wanted to just let it drop in front, but a nice slide to make the grab. Now pitch to Barron Radcliffe. Good breaking ball, drops into the zone, called strike 1. So Mosley makes a nice play for the first out of the inning. Barron Radcliffe, now the hitter, didn't play in last night's contest against YD. A 1 from Ash, another breaking ball, swinging a foul back. No balls, 2 strikes, the count to the Georgia Tech product. So Hunter Goodman grounded out to third base to end the bottom of the first. Barron Radcliffe, the hitter, here in the top of the second. As Ash looking in at the catcher, Goodman. Radcliffe, the bat resting on his left shoulder. A long pause. And now Radcliffe's going to call time. I felt like it was taking an eternity for a minute. But why are Radcliffe and Goodman relevant? Well, those guys are going to be partaking in the home run derby on Sunday. 0-2, down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. So Radcliffe and Hunter Goodman will be out at Orleans on Sunday night. 2 of the 6 contestants in the home run derby out at Eldridge Park. Radcliffe has 2 home runs on the summer. 1-2 from Ash. Down low, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Radcliffe took him a little while to get going. But there's no doubt he has some insane power from the left side. Just watch his batting practices. He'll put on a show. Ash now the 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, nubbed foul, right side. It gets into the first base coaching box. For Radcliffe, first home run of the summer and the second home run of the summer came in the same game. 2-2 from Ash. Swinging a pop-up foul out of play behind the plate. He hit 2 home runs in Falmouth's 15-6 win over Chatham out at Veterans Field. That was a 3-for-5 day for him. That home run derby is going to be some mighty, mighty fun. Those 2, again, a third of the participants as the pitch comes in. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the night for Connor Ash, and there's 2 away to begin the top of the second. So Ash has struck out 2 hitters in his last 3 tries, and it'll bring up Austin Langworthy. So again, with the All-Star game coming up this week, we'll be highlighting some of these players who are set to take place in the All-Star game, as well as the home run derby, which we're talking about right now. Araja New, the other contestant from the West Division. Switch hitter from Katuitt. The pitch to Langworthy comes in. It's a breaking ball inside. Langworthy yesterday, 0-for-1. Coming into tonight's contest, hitting 157. Righty Ash, the windup pitch on the way. Breaking ball hits the zone, and the count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. So again, Anu, Radcliffe, Goodman, the 3 from the West. Tyler Hardman and TJ Collette of Brewster, along with Nico Cavadas from Harwich, the 3 in the East. 1-1. Swinging a ground ball right side. Glove by Fair. Flips to Ash covering the bag, and that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Commodores in the top of the second, as Connor Ash has a nice response after giving up 1 run in the first. Through an inning and a half, it's 1-0 Commodores. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on in the top of the second for Falmouth. We'll go to the bottom of the frame when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Five, six, seven coming to the plate for Hyannis in the bottom of the second frame. It'll be Jared DeSantolo, Ian Fair, and Jackson Olson set to go off against the right-hander Franco Alamon, back on the mound for inning number 2. So DeSantolo puts a couple feet in the box, takes about 3 steps back, now works his way back in as he puts his left hand to the top of his helmet, his usual routine getting ready in the box. First pitch from Alamon, breaking ball low and in, it's 1-0. And this matchup, of course, has some significance. A couple of former high school teammates going head-to-head. The 6'6" Alamon going up against the left-handed hitting Jared DeSantolo. Pitch comes in. Fastball for a called strike. It's 1-1. So the 6.5-foot Franco Alamon going up against the 6-foot, even 185-pound Jared DeSantolo. in the DH spot tonight, often will play the corners. Pitch, ground ball right side. First baseman Coots to his right, fields cleanly, flips to Alamon, and steps on the pillow for the first out. So DeSantillo retired, and he gives a bit of a smile back to the pitcher, Alamon. As he runs back toward the dugout, it'll bring up Ian Fair. So Alamon wins round one against his high school teammate DeSantillo. Fair will dig in from the right side. Fair yesterday 1 for 4 with the only RBI. Alamon gets the sign, winds and fires. Ground ball up the middle. That'll get through a base hit. Ian Fair hits the bag at first. He picks up the first hit of the second inning for Hyannis. And he's aboard with the second hit of the game for the Harbor Hawks.
And Fair's really been swinging a hot bat as of late. We talked about this is the second time he's been with Hyannis this summer. And really having the bat come around for him in his second try. Came with an average into today above 400 and showing why again right there.
So Fair picks up his 13th hit with that one-out single. That'll bring up Jackson Olson. Alamon forced to work back to the stretch, fires home. Olson shows bunt, but it's pushed behind him, foul. So Olson last night against Chatham, 0 for 3. He comes into the game hitting just a tad under 260. But Jackson Olson, the first couple of times he'd faced off against the Anglers, he'd had their number and he'd been all over them. Olson, 5 for 7 going into last night's play with the Anglers. He had the 3-hit game in game 1 here at McKeon Park. And then a 2-hit game the first time the Harbor Hawks traveled out to Veterans Field. Pitch swung on and lofted down the left field line, giving a little bit of a chase Langworthy, but it's going to get onto the hill out of play. So Olson thrives against Chatham. There's no question about it. Hitting 260 on the summer, to be exact, 259. As he's in the left side of the box with an 0-2 count, 1 away. Fair getting a lead at first, being held on by Coots as Alamon will throw over. So Olson will wave the bat around the zone once, and he gets back in. Alamon staring in at the catcher Clonch, waiting for the sign. 1-0 Falmouth in the bottom of the second with 1 away. 0-2 to Olson. Ground ball up the middle, charging in the second baseman. Tawa flips to second for 1, relay to first, double play. 4-6-3 twin killing for the Falmouth Commodores, and that ends the bottom of the second. For the Harbor Hawks in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the third when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Connor Ash back to the hill for Hyannis for his third inning of work tonight here from McKeon Park. He's set to face 9-1-2 in the Falmouth Commodores lineup. And it's the visiting Commodores out to a 1-0 lead here at McKeon Park. They got the scoring going early, back to lead off the ball game in the first inning. But Ash with a nice response coming back in the second inning with a 1-2-3 frame. And Kevin Kendall set to dig in for the first time against the Missouri right-hander. Ash fires the first pitch. It's a fastball upstairs at 92 miles an hour to start the inning, a count 1-0. So Kendall, a 171 hitter as he digs in from the left side. Ash into the windup. 1-0. Cranked down the right field line, twisting well, foul. Rigsby Mosley had his feet in concrete, didn't even move as that one was sent way foul down the right field line. Kendall just a bit out in front of a big fastball from Ash. Count evens a ball and a strike. Kendall looking to snap a bit of a cold streak. No hits in his last 2 contests. 1-1. Breaking ball dropped in on the inside half of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes as Ash works himself ahead in the count. As a matter of fact, last time Kendall picked up a hit in the ball game was right here at McKeon Park on July the 9th as part of an 8-1 Falmouth victory. That was a 2-for-5 effort as Ash fires a 1-2, swing and a miss at a breaking ball in the dirt. Goodman slaps the tag on the back, and Kendall goes down for the 3rd strikeout racked up by Connor Ash. Or rather, just barely foul, tipped off the end of the bat as Kendall made his way back into foul ground, but realized he's staying alive. Chad Gassman out of the dugout, not exactly happy. Having some words for home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg, who's now taken off the mask, and looking back toward the Falmouth dugout, providing an explanation. Chad's still out of the dugout, giving Rosenberg an earful. And now the umpires are going to converge. Now, while it didn't sound like Kendall got a piece of that one, it looked like he swung on and missed, but Goodman applied the tag for good measure, but now not so sure.
Yeah, it didn't sound like he got much of anything, and I think Kendall thought he struck out. He started to walk back to the dugout. I think everybody on the field thought he struck out, except for maybe the exception of home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg.
So Kendall resides just outside the left-handed batter's box. He's set for another chance, and now they're going to ring him up. So it is the 3rd strikeout of the night for Connor Ash as Kendall officially goes down. And now back to the top of the order for Tim Tawa. So Ash worked in a good breaking ball, got Kendall to go over the top of it. Larry Rosenberg thought that Kendall might have gotten just a nick of the baseball, but not the case as Tawa steps in. He's 0 for 1 on his evening so far. Team's even in the hit column to this point. The Stanford University outfielder digs in, swings at a breaking ball, and chops it foul down the left side. So Tawa was subbed in defensively July the 14th against YD last night as part of a 7-0 defeat. Well, talked about it a bit earlier. Falmouth losers of 2 straight. Hyannis losers of 4 straight. Both teams trying to snap a skid. Ash is 0-1. Fastball, Tawa swings and launches it into left field right at Trevor Hoover. He lines it up. He'll make the grab. So a quick 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 3rd.
And Ash has looked really good since that first inning. He's retired his last 6. He's got 3 strikeouts on the night. And that one was hit pretty well from the hitter Tawa, but clearly got it off the end of the bat as he kind of pulled it right at Hoover. He had no problem making the grab.
So now another left-handed hitter, Austin Maisel, steps in. 0 for 1, line 1 to Jordan Westberg on a rope, his first plate appearance as he swings and lifts one foul straight back and slightly off to the left. Ash fired that one in at 93 on the gun. Maisel, a 395 hitter entering action tonight. Going up against a mighty Hyannis arm in Connor Ash. 0-1. Fastball upstairs. Count levels at a ball and a strike. And for Ash coming into his outing tonight, 12th on Cape Cod in strikeouts. And 25 entering tonight. Can uptick that a little bit to 28. The right-hander fires a 1-1. Off-speed delivery upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Another dangerous bat in Zach DeLoach looms in the on-deck circle. He's already 1 for 1. He's doubled and scored. The only run up on the board to this point. Ash glove in front of the face into his windup. 2-1. Breaking ball just down. Appeal, no swing. That one looked to be a bit close, but Maisel just pulling the bat head back in time, says the field umpire Nick Zarmelli.
Well, there's a 2-man umpiring crew tonight, and left-handed hitter Maisel, they had to appeal to the first base umpire, so there was no real view at it.
3-1 from Ash. Fastball right down Main Street for a strike to fill the count. We've got a bit of a late start here tonight from McKeon Park. 7:18 p.m. the time here on Cape Cod from McKeon. Top of the 3rd inning, Falmouth with an 0-1 lead, and the payoff pitch to lead off of the second man in the lineup, Austin Maisel. He goes down looking. Ash got him with a fastball at the knees. Maisel can't believe it. He flips the bat on his way back to the dugout. And Falmouth's 3rd inning goes 1-2-3. A pair of strikeouts for the Missouri right-hander and Ash. He keeps the deficit at 1 with Hyannis coming back to the plate, looking to even things up here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the third inning here from McKeon Park. The Hyannis offense back to the dish, trailing 1-0. Trying to strike back against the FIU product, Franco Alamon. Giving up a pair of hits, but Hyannis hasn't been able to get anything real against him, threat-wise. Mr. Video steps in, Rowdy Jordan and Jordan Westberg to follow. First pitch from the right-hander, fastball in for a strike to the knees. It's 0-1. So for Servideo, the average has dipped down a bit to 164, but he's starting to pick it up over the last couple of games if you scratch out last night's contest against the Chatham Anglers. 0-1 comes in. That one's in for a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. Servideo picked up a hit on July the 13th when Chatham was here at McKeon Park, and then another one a couple of nights back against Orleans as part of a 2-0 win. 0-2. Fastball just misses off the outside part of the plate. Alamon thought he had Servideo rung up, but not to be. It's the Ole Miss Rebel with some new life at the plate. Servideo slotted into the 8th position in the lineup tonight for Hyannis as he looks at strike 3 on the inside corner. A breaking ball from Alamon rings up Servideo. And the first strikeout of the night for the FIU product, and that'll bring up Rowdy Jordan.
I talked about he's got that good sweeping breaking ball. He flashes it right there, just painting the inside corner. Not much Servideo could do about it.
It really has some good movement to it. It really, really does. Starts on the outer part of the plate, comes all the way back across and paints the inside black. And Servideo, like you said, Lyle, nothing really he could do to try and get a piece of the bat on it. So Jordan steps in for the first time tonight. A 128 hitter as he watches a fastball in for a strike. So Rowdy Jordan's been in and out of the lineup. He's had his struggles here on Cape Cod this summer. Last time we saw him was July 13th against the Anglers. 0-1. Breaking ball upstairs, count evens. Rowdy did pick up a hit in that ball game in a 1-for-3 effort. But the hits have come sporadically for the Mississippi State Bulldog. 1-1 from Alamon. Jordan swings and lifts it on the left side, drifting back out of play over the grandstands. So a ball and 2 strikes with his teammate, college teammate Jordan Westberg on deck. So we talked about Alamon and the stuff that he has on the hill. No runs allowed this season. Trying to continue that stretch in a Falmouth Commodore uniform against these Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Last place, trying to dig themselves out of a hole. 1-2 to Jordan. Breaking ball slapped up the middle on the ground towards second. Backhanded stop by Talos. Off down sort of first. What a play. Gets Jordan by about a step as Talo was ranging way back and toward left center field. Made an off-balance throw and got Jordan just in the nick of time.
It's a really, really nice play from Tim Tawa. Again, he probably didn't even think he was going to be starting tonight. He was a late replacement for Hayden Cantrell. But right there, he moves to his right, backhands it behind the bag on the run. And then just a nice, easy flick across his body over to Jackson Coots at first like it was effortless. And like that, there's 2 away.
Very, very swift play from the Stanford infielder. Utility guy can play multiple positions as Westberg steps in. Breaking ball sweeps back across the plate. Count 0-1. But you mentioned Hayden Cantrell, Lyle, and what a season he's had. Second in the Cape Cod League in stolen bases with 12. And this is a Falmouth ball club that can really show off the wheels. 0-1 to Westberg. In for a strike. It's 0-2. Falmouth as a ball club leads the league with 50 stolen bases. They've just been a team that has been aggressive on the base paths when they're able to get runners on. Rest of their offense hasn't really followed suit hits-wise. They've been able to produce wins as an 0-2 to Westberg. Is slapped foul right side out of play. Same could be said for Hyannis, however, as their offense climbed up the rankings. They had a couple of outburst performances, putting up 8 and 10 runs. That 10-run performance coming in a loss to Wareham last Sunday. But the rankings starting to slip a bit. This is a team 8th in runs and 8th in hits. There's a 1-2 breaking balls into the dirt. Bounces by the catcher Clonch into the backstop. But Westberg was able to pick up a base hit and snap an 0-for-17 streak last night against Chatham at Veterans Field. Again, after a blistering hot start, some regression was expected, and it happened, but Westberg starting to break out of it again. He already has a base hit tonight. The 1-2, breaking ball inside as it bounces up to the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Westberg. West Harbor Hawk Ball Club in search of their 7th win of the season. 6-21-1 as it stands tonight. Remains to be seen what the record will be after the outcome of this contest with the Commodores. Alamon into his motion, a 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss as Westberg goes down to a knee and Alamon fans him. Second strikeout in the inning, this one to retire the side as Hyannis goes 1-2-3 in the frame. Still 1-0 Commodores. They'll come back to the plate in the top of the 4th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Zach DeLoach, Trey Cruz, and Troy Clonch, the 3 due up in the 4th inning against Missouri right-hander Connor Ash. We're locked into a pitcher's duel here from McKeon Park as Ash has settled down after allowing 1 in the 1st inning. It's been zeros ever since. Zach DeLoach digging in. He's 1 for 1 tonight. A double and scored a run in the 1st inning. Trey Cruz, the man on deck, was able to drive him in with an RBI single. So DeLoach trying to get something started for Falmouth in the 4th inning. As Ash gets a sign from Goodman, rocks and fires. First pitch, a breaking ball, good for a strike. It's 0-1. And for DeLoach, just looking back through the month of July on his calendar, he's had a couple of really, really great performances as the breaking ball spiked in the dirt, picked on the backhand by Goodman. The count levels. 4 hits against Chatham on July the 11th. 3 here against Hyannis on July the 9th. And another 3-hit ball game on July the 5th at the hands of the Chatham Anglers. But DeLoach has really, really been racking up the hits in bunches. Fastball just off the outer part of the plate, 2-1. That one came in at 90 miles an hour as it goes whizzing by DeLoach, but just outside. And DeLoach got the better of Hyannis for a couple of long balls last time Falmouth made the trip out here to McKeon Park. 2-1 from the Missouri righty. Breaking ball sweeps in, drops at the knees, a called strike 2-2. So Deloach a big bat, Ash a big arm. We know Ash has got the swing and miss stuff. He's ranked near the top of the leaderboard in strikeouts wise on the Cape Cod League. Time is called as Ash steps off the back of the rubber, now quickly back on. He's got a 2-2 count here to Deloach, looking for a strikeout. The pitch into the dirt. Count fills. Ash has already struck out 4, dating back to the 3rd inning. Fanned Austin Maisel to end that frame and picked up a strikeout of Kevin Kendall to start that frame. So Ash in search of his 30th strikeout, which would be his next one if he can get the leadoff hitter Deloach here. The 3-2. Breaking ball in the dirt, and he lost him. So that's the first walk of the night surrender from Ash. He's 13th on the summer. I'll give way to Trey Cruz with a runner on and nobody out. So Ash tried to get Deloach to go after a breaking ball down. And in steps another dangerous bat in Trey Cruz, who's picked up an RBI tonight. Falmouth with just 2 hits on the board. Both of them coming from the 2 men in the field of play right now. First pitch from Ash. Fastball popped up left side, drifting foul out of play. So Hyannis trying to pick up their 2nd win against the Falmouth Commodores here at home this season. And after tonight, they'll be on the road for a pair of ball games. One in Harwich at White House Field tomorrow, and the next day against the Katuitt Kettleers. Ash out of the stretch. Spins and fires back to first. Tag applied by Fair. And head first is Zach Deloach. Wow, it feels like we've been on the road an awful lot as of late. A lot of road trips for Hyannis.
And they're going to be on the road more this week. They head out to Harwich, and they're going to play at Katuitt twice.
So Ash out of the stretch. Cruz still awaiting the first pitch of the at-bat. A long pause now comes home. In the air to left center field, sending Jordan back a couple steps and to his right. He's got a beat on it. He'll make the catch on the move. Back to first base goes Deloach, and there's one down. Randy Jordan, a much easier path to that baseball than what we saw earlier on in the ball game when he tried to make a diving snag off a ball hit from Zach Deloach. That resulted in the double. But now it's Troy Klotch, the backstop, digging in. A strikeout victim earlier in the ball game. That was the first victim of Connor Ash. "16 games in 17 days. We talked about the road trip while that one day off being the All-Star game when Hyannis will feature 3 names in that contest. Another check over on the runner at first. Deloach, he's back in safely. Jared DeSantolo, Hunter Goodman, and Brian Bulldog Arm Tyler Madison will all be featured in the Classic. Klotch at the plate, bat above his right shoulder. Ash spins and fires back to first again. A harder throw this time to Fair. Tag applied, not in time. Ash has got a deceptively quick move over to first base. We've seen him pick off a runner already here this summer. Definitely got the stuff to keep runners off balance and certainly keep them honest on the base paths. Klotch patiently waiting in the right-handed batter's box. Ash, couple of peeks over the shoulder, a long pause. Now kicks and fires home. Breaking ball outside. It's 1-0. But for Ash, you talk about the strikeout numbers. Just 5 between his last 2 appearances. Against Bourne here on July the 6th and at Orleans July the 2nd. But before that, he's struck out 5. At least 5 in 3 of his last 6 appearances. Another just spinning a check over to first. Really keeping a close eye on Deloach. He's back in safely for a 3rd time. Ash really keeping close tabs on the base runner as he comes into the set again at the belt. Now fires home a 1-0. Breaking ball chopper left side, foul to the backstop. And the count evened up at 1-1. Falmouth putting together a long top half of the 4th inning. Still just 1 out with the man aboard. Both teams with 2 hits to their name to this point. Hyannis infield playing a bit back. Infielders shaded toward double play depth by the second base bag. 1-1. Fastball in the dirt, knocked down by Goodman. Deloach is going to take off for second and get there without a throw. So Deloach advances up into scoring position. It gives Klotz a chance to pick up RBI number 6 on the summer. Right-handed hitting catcher trying to avenge an 0-for-1 performance to this point. There is some slight action down in the Hyannis bullpen. Right-hander just up and starting to get loose down there. Each of Asher's last 2 appearances haven't gone more than 3 innings. A 2-1. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike. Bit of a delayed call. And the count evens 2-2 to Klonch. So Chad Gassman giving Ash the green light for now, but doesn't want to let Falmouth get any farther ahead out in front in this ball game. This is one that Hyannis has to start winning. They want to climb back out of the cellar of the division. The 2-2. Fastball into the dirt, strike 3. Goodman off to his left to get it. Comes up the line, makes the throw to first in time. So the 5th strikeout recorded from Connor Ash. Zach Deloach stays put at scoring position out at second base. So 2 down in the inning now for Jackson Coots, who's 0-for-1.
Ash just burying the breaking ball there out in front of the plate, but got the hitter, Troy Klonch, to chase at it with some good bite to it. And that right there makes it 30 strikeouts on the summer for Connor Ash.
So Jackson Coots will step in. Ash an even 30 punch-outs on the season. He's been racking them up for Hyannis. First pitch to Coots. Breaking ball, dribbler down the first baseline toward Ian Fair. He'll scoop it up, but foul off the dish. Home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg stepping out onto the field of play, letting everybody know. Looks like Coots may have gotten a piece of himself with that one as it went down the first baseline. Coots getting some time to recuperate outside the box now, makes his way back toward the plate. Coots has picked up just 3 RBIs on the season with a .270 average to go with it. 0-for-1, he sent one in the air to Rigsby Mosley out in right field his first time up. Batting here with 2 down in the Falmouth half of the 4th inning in a 1-0 ball game. Coots in his last 2 appearances has yet to record an official at bat. Has been a defensive sub in the last couple of ball games as he waves and misses through a breaking ball in the dirt, knocked down by Goodman behind the plate. So Coots has seen limited action with Falmouth, but when he has gotten in the lineup, it's been a sporadic bunch of performances. Picked up a couple of hits in a pair of ball games. One at Katuitt on July the 10th and another one July the 2nd against the Brewster Whitecaps at home. First pitch from Ash. Fastball popped up left side back toward the parking lot. So when Hyannis comes back to the plate in the bottom of the 4th, they'll be looking to get the bats going. They'll have Rigsby Mosley, Trevor Hoffer, and Hunter Goodman to the plate. Hyannis has been in a couple of pitchers' duels the last few nights. And the pitching had been their Achilles heel all season long. It's the offense that's gone silent over the past few ball games. Delivery from Ash. Fastball chopper off the leg pad of Goodman toward the backstop and slightly off to the left in foul ground. So the count stands at no balls and 2 strikes. Coots still trying to shake out that left leg area outside the left-handed batter's box. Now we'll climb back in. Again, got one off some part of the lower body as it trickled down the first baseline for the first strike of the at-bat. Ash has got him in an 0-2 count here. Looking for another punch out. Here he comes. Breaking ball, bouncer fouled toward the backstop again. Coots putting up a tough fight with 2 strikes to stay alive. Ash has already racked up 5 punch outs in the ball game. He's gotten Troy Klonch twice. So Jackson Coots trying to do what he can to extend the Falmouth half of the inning. Ash really slowing his pace down with the runner aboard. Checked on Zach Deloach at first base 3 times earlier on in the frame. He currently stands out at second base, an 0-2 count to Coots with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 strikeouts on the ball game for Ash and back-to-back to retire the side in the top of the 4th. So Falmouth strands 1 in the frame. It's still a 1-0 ball game with Hyannis coming back to the plate in the bottom of the inning on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Rigsby Mosley, Trevor Hover, and Hunter Goodman, the 2-3-4 bats in the Hyannis lineup to the plate in the bottom of the fourth against the FIU product Franco Alamon, who has been nothing short of magnificent through the first three frames here tonight from McKeon Park. And we talked about the numbers for Franco Alamon on the season to this point. It's been incredible stuff. 16 scoreless innings entering the night. You can make that 19 now as Mosley steps in from the left side and watches a fastball good for a strike 0-1. And the body of work for the FIU product this season, a 1-0 record. He's made 3 starts in 3 games. Struck out 12 and had walked just 1, but picked one up earlier on in the ball game tonight as Mosley watches the breaking ball down and in for a ball 1-1. But it has just been unbelievable stuff. He's gone at least 5 innings in all 3 appearances so far this season without allowing a run. And the hits have been racked up, but he's been able to work around those. Mosley trying to put up the 3rd hit on the board for Hyannis tonight as the 1-1 comes in. Breaking ball outside, 2-1. And 3 runs were scored in Alamon's start at Brewster on July the 6th. None of them earned, however. 1-1 on the ground towards second. Tao was up with it. Easy flip to first in time to get Mosley. So Rigsby the first out here in the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Trevor Hover.
Well, Alamon's been really sharp too since Ian Fair single back in the 2nd. He's now retired the last 5 hitters he's faced. Went 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd and gets Mosley with an easy ground out there in the 4th.
And a number that perhaps stands out about Alamon. Doesn't really strike out a lot of guys. Just 12 through 3 appearances. As Hover digs in from the left side and waves the bat toward the mound. Alamon into his windup. First pitch, fastball, in for a strike. It's 0-1. And just 2 on the ball game tonight. He picked up both of those back in the 3rd inning. 1 to Anthony Servideo and 1 to Jordan Westberg. He's a guy that pitches to contact and just knows how to get outs in clutch situations. 0-1. Fastball again. Upstairs in the zone, but a called strike. It's 0-2. And Alamon, not a guy who's untouchable. As we talked about the hits given up. He had just 1 in his first outing against Chatham. That was 5 innings of basically untouchable ball. 0-2. Chopper back up the middle. Tawa ranging back off the glove and into center field. Now Hover's going to pick up a base hit. Second time he's reached base tonight. He picked up a walk in his first at bat. That'll bring up Hunter Goodman. We saw Tawa range back behind the second base bag and make a fine play earlier on in the ball game. That was to retire Rowdy Jordan in the 3rd inning for the 2nd out of that frame. And that was a marvelous play. Nearly another one there to rob Trevor Hover of a base hit, but not to be. And Goodman will step in, the RBI leader on the Cape with a runner on and 1 out. So Hyannis forcing Alamon to work from the stretch. They picked up 3 hits in the ball game to this point. First pitch to Goodman, breaking ball high and wide, 1-0. And Lyle, you touched upon the home run derby a bit earlier on in the ball game, where Goodman will be featured this upcoming Sunday at Eldridge Park in Orleans. That's certainly to be a spectacle. Goodman's picked up 5 long balls on the year, and each and every one of them an absolute no-doubter. 1-0. Goodman swings, sends it in the air down the right field line, ranging after it. Deloach back toward the wall. He's in front of the track. He's got it lined up, though, and he'll make the grab. Hover took a couple of steps off the bag at first, but he's back as Goodman set down for the 2nd out of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Jared DeSantolo.
Goodman lifted it pretty high in the air, and obviously, anytime he lifts one up into the sky like that, your eyes are going to lock onto it. But just not enough juice on it to ride it out of the ballpark. Of course, not really much wind blowing out tonight either. So Deloach had to move back a bit to his left, but like you said, makes the grab in front of the track.
And Goodman has shown flashes of opposite field power this season. Just getting under that one, as Lyle mentioned. Not squaring it up just how he'd like as DeSantolo digs in for the 2nd time and takes a strike on the inside part of the plate. So the FAU Owls squaring off with his former high school teammate for the 2nd time, back from the left side. He's got a runner aboard and 2 down in the Hyannis half of the 4th inning. 1-0 ball game. It's been briskly played by both sides to this point. Lights have been flicked on here at McKeon Park. A quiet night here at Hyannis as DeSantolo swings and lines one off the netting down the 3rd baseline past the Hyannis dugout. So no balls and 2 strikes to DeSantolo, whose average has slipped down to .316. Good for 9th on the Cape. 1 home run and 4 RBIs to go with it. Rolled one over to first base in his first at bat tonight. Alamon comes set at the chest, now spins in a courtesy toss back to first, keeping Hopper close. He's back standing. And DeSantelo steps out, adjusts the gloves. Down, no balls and 2 strikes on the count to Alamon, who's in search of his 3rd punch out of the evening. Ian Fair waits on deck should we get to him. Alamon will look toward Hopper at first, who has a short lead. The 0-2. DeSantelo thought about going around. A delayed steal from Hopper. The throw beats him by a mile, and they gun him down. Hopper trying to catch Falmouth napping, swiping second base. He could not. Klotz guns him down at second, and that's how the 4th inning will end. So DeSantelo gets stranded at the plate. Falmouth keeps Hyannis off the boards once again. Alamon still continues to cruise. Top 5 coming up here from McKeon Park when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Seven, 8, 9 coming to the plate for Falmouth in the top of the 5th inning as Connor Ash is back on the mound for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, set to face Barron Radcliffe, Austin Langworthy, and Kevin Kendall. All 3 of those guys left-handed hitters. The final 4 bats in the lineup for Jeff Trundy's Falmouth squad all hit from the left side. Ash taking a long time up on the mound, working from the first base side. Offering. Fastball just low. It's 1-0. And Ash has looked really good so far tonight. Gave up that first inning RBI single to Trey Cruz, but aside from that, he's put up 3 straight scoreless frames. Pitch, swing and a miss from Radcliffe. Almost came out of his shoes with that one. Count will move to 1 ball, 1 strike. So Radcliffe, of course, some light tower power when he can connect. 2 home runs on the summer, those both coming in 1 game against Chatham, but it took him a while to get going. Pitch from Ash. Fastball. Called strike, and it's 1-2. Radcliffe only hit 4 home runs in his 2019 season. That was out at Georgia Tech, and it was kind of the same story. Low average, too many strikeouts as Ash fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 7th strikeout of the night for Connor Ash, make it 32 on the season. And just like that, he sits at 2nd place by himself in the Cape League lead for K's. So Radcliffe punches out for the 2nd time tonight. That'll bring up Austin Langworthy. Langworthy today, 0 for 1, grounded out to first. Pitch, swing and a miss, chases one out of the zone up high. It's 0-1. So with that strikeout, Ash passes Carmen Majinski of the Falmouth Commodores. He had 31 strikeouts in 4 different appearances. The right-hander gets the sign, fires home the 0-1. Down low, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The only guy that now sits ahead of Ash, Ian Seymour for the YD Red Sox. Seymour has 39. He just started last night against Falmouth. Left-hander out of Virginia Tech, 6 frames, 1 hit, no runs. 7 strikeouts. And Seymour's not a guy who throws that hard either, but just finds a way to miss bats. It's more of the same story for Ash, except from the right side. Now the 1-1. Line drive foul down the right field line. First base coach for Falmouth having to duck out of the way. So Ash, again, he doesn't overpower hitters. I mean, he does, but it's not with a high 90s fastball. It usually sits from about 89 to 93 or so. He just finds ways to miss bats with a good breaking ball as well. Pitch up high, and it's 2-2. Ash thought that might be strikeout number 8. Didn't quite get the call. And Langworthy's still alive with the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Commodores leading 1-0 in the top of the 5th inning. Infield back, everybody straight out. As Ash ready, 2-2 on the way. Line drive up the middle. That'll get through into center field, a base hit. So a spinning line drive that lands behind the bag at second base, twirls into center field, and Langworthy picks up a 1-out single. He's aboard in the top of the 5th.
Well, Langworthy doing damage all the same right there. Squaring one up off the outside part of the barrel. But it had some weird spin on it as it tailed into center field. Kind of some backspin away from Anthony Servideo with the second base position.
So now the hitter, Kevin Kendall. He struck out swinging back in the top of the 3rd. Took a while for him to make his way back to the dugout, as originally home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg called it a foul ball, which he swung at and missed in the dirt. Pitch from Ash. Fastball just down low. It's 1-0. It was a breaking ball from the Missouri righty Connor Ash. Kendall swung at it, came up empty. And after a little bit of a conference between the home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg and the field umpire Nick Zamelli, they have finally ruled Kendall out. Now the offering, fly ball, out to left field fairly deep. It takes Hauver a few steps back. He settles under it and makes the grab about 15 feet in front of the track. Langworthy coasts back to first base. Now with 2 down, it'll bring up the leadoff man, Tim Tawa from Stanford. So Connor Ash has worked 4 2/3 really strong innings tonight. He worked 2 2/3 scoreless against the Orleans Firebirds, but that's not going to count for anything. That game called due to rain a couple of nights ago. To be exact, it was back on July the 12th. So 3 days later, Ash getting a start on the mound anyway as he fires over to first. Tag applied by Fair, but back safely the runner Langworthy. So now it's his 3rd start. Once again, 7th appearance. He started the season in the bullpen for Hyannis, and he was absolute dynamite coming into the ball game late. He's going to check the runner at first. Tao with a hitter. He's 0 for 2. Pitch, squares to bunt, pops it foul off the screen behind home plate. In his first 3 appearances on Cape Cod, he went 7 innings in 3 different appearances. No runs, 3 hits, 1 in each outing, to go along with 14 strikeouts. I mean, he was absolutely cruising. Then they opt to give him his first start. He takes the ball out at Gov Fuller Field on June the 26th, and he helped anchor Hyannis to their 2nd win of the season. That was a 10-4 victory over the Commodores. Ash is 1. Filed back behind home plate. That's off the netting again. It's 0-2. So through his first 4 appearances, Ash looked really, really good. He went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. He struck out 6. So it wasn't as dominant as some of his bullpen outings, but more importantly, it kept Hyannis in the game, and the offense did the rest. Now here's the 0-2. Runner takes off in the dirt. Throw down to second from Goodman. Tag applied by Servideo. Called safe, and the runner slides under the tag. Langworthy just got his right foot in. Servideo caught the ball about 5 feet before the slide from Langworthy. But that tag applied a little bit high up at the letter level of the jersey. And Langworthy able to slide that right foot in and put himself in scoring position.
I mean, you're absolutely right. The throw beat the runner Langworthy by an absolute mile. It was just the tag was applied a bit high up on the chest and not down on the front foot.
So Ash checks the runner 1-2. Misses low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Servideo had the throw there. Again, Goodman fired a strike behind the plate, but Anthony Servideo just couldn't quite put the slap down in time. For Langworthy, that's his 2nd stolen base of the summer. Ash the stretch in the 2-2, swinging a foul off the foot of Tim Tawa, and the count will stay even that way. So a runner in scoring position, that's Langworthy at second. Falmouth up 1-0 in the top of the fifth. Three hits for each side. Tawa pop up to second and a fly out to left. But he's looking to try and extend the Falmouth lead here in the top of the fifth. Hitting just .250 with runners on base. Pitch, fly ball, out to right field. That's going to tail toward the Falmouth bullpen, and it gets over the fence by the trees. And with runners in scoring position, Tawa's hitting just .214. Langworthy the runner at second. Ash in search of his 8th strikeout. Again, making his 3rd start for Hyannis. Works from the first base side of the rubber. Stretch and the 2-2 on the way to Tawa. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings for Connor Ash, and he is rolling. It's 1-0 through 4.5 innings here at McKeon Park. And for Falmouth, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. It's Commodores 1, Hyannis nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. After Jared DeSantilo's at bat was cut short in the bottom of the 4th inning, he's got a clean slate to begin the bottom of the 5th. It'll be him, Ian Fair, and Jackson Olsen set to come to the plate against FIU right-hander Franco Alamon out for his 5th inning of work. And to no surprise, it's been all zeros for him. First pitch to DeSantilo, swinging a line drive foul down the left field line. That gets out of play. So coming into the frame, Alamon has now thrown 20 scoreless innings on Cape Cod. Hyannis has gotten 3 hits off him. Nobody's reached second base yet. Right-hander taking a long pause. He's going to shake off a handful of signs from the catcher, Troy Clonch. Now he gets one he likes, but DeSantilo's going to call time. So once again, a couple of former high school teammates going head-to-head. Both hail from Tampa, Florida, where they attended Alonzo High School. Pitch to DeSantilo on the ground to third. Fielded cleanly by Cruz. He's up with it, throws across, and there's one away. So DeSantilo grounds out to the third baseman, Trey Cruz, and it'll bring up Ian Fair with 1 down as Alamon records a quick 5-3 putout. So Fair digging into the right side of the box. Alamon 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. Falmouth up 1-0. Pitch to Fair. Line drive down the right field line. Deloach chasing over, and it drops Fair inside the foul line. That'll be extra bases. Fair around the bag at first. He's thinking 2, and he's going to stand up right there. A 1-out double from the Northeastern product, Ian Fair, his 3rd extra base hit of the season. And Hyannis has a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the 5th.
Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Alamon not untouchable, and Ian Fair right there picking up another base hit, this time in the form of a double down the right field line. He just squeaked it in next to the chalk and trotting into second base. Now it's just a matter of Hyannis can bring him around.
So Jackson Olsen looks to do what nobody else has been able to do all summer. Score an earned run off Franco Alamon. Olson today, 0 for 1. He grounded into the double play to end the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Commodores in the bottom of the fifth inning. And Hyannis has put their first runner of the night in scoring position. Fair stands at second with a short lead. Pitch, swing and a miss from Olson, 0-1. Left-handed hitting third baseman for Hyannis. Hitless last night in Chatham once again. And he represents one of 5 natural left-handed bats in the Hyannis order. Another lefty, Anthony Servideo, awaits on deck. So the 6'6 righty Alamon checks the runner fair, comes home, swinging a tap foul behind home plate and off the backstop. Alamon already retired left-handed hitting Jared DeSantolo, his former high school teammate. And while those two are rivals at school, Jared at FAU, Franco at FIU, they're West Division rivals here on Cape Cod. They'll be playing on the same team again on Sunday night at Eldridge Park. Both selected to play in Sunday's All-Star game, representing the West Division. Olson flips the bat out at the mound. Alamon now into the stretch. The 0-2. Fastball up high and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Hartford infielder. Once again, sticking on the All-Star topic this week. Brendan already mentioned 3 Hyannis All-Stars: Tyler Madison, Jared DeSantolo, Hunter Goodman. Falmouth's going to have 5 representatives, Franco Alamon being one of them. He's going to check the runner fair at second, bends his knees on the mound. Now the 1-2, swinging a tapper off the leg of fair, and it'll skip down the first base line. Or off the front leg of Olson, rather. Fair, the runner, will trot back to second as he got halfway down to third, but Olson's going to take a second outside the box to reset himself. So Alamon sure had a valid case to start this All-Star game for the West Division. I mean, when you throw 16 scoreless innings when the roster was selected, there's no doubt a case. But Ian Bedell of Wareham might have had a little bit of a better one. 1-2 with 1 away. 1-0 Falmouth as Olson wiggling his bat above his shoulder. Pitch, swinging a pop-up foul off the netting behind home plate. For Bedell, a teammate of Connor Ash. Right-handed pitcher for Missouri. So far this season for him, he's gone 5 starts, 25 2/3 innings, an 0.70 ERA with a 3-0 record. He's given up 2 earned runs on the entire season. But Alamon, however, has not given up 1. 1-2 to Olson, swinging a tapper foul off the backstop. The count will stay at 1-2 with 1 away. So Bedell will get the start for the West Division on Sunday night. Alamon likely to be featured later in the game. Trey Cruz and Hayden Cantrell, along with Zach DeLoach, they're all starting. So 3 Falmouth Commodores will be in the starting lineup on Sunday night. As Alamon checks the runner fair at second, fires home. Swing and a miss from Olson, strike 3. Third strikeout of the night for the FIU right-hander Alamon. And there's 2 away in the bottom of the 5th for Anthony Servideo.
Alamon's just making it look so easy right now. It's like when he gets runners on base, it doesn't even face him. He's got one in scoring position right now, and Ian Fair, after that double, just coming right back and punching out Olson.
So Servideo now the hitter. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. One of the 3 punch-out victims of Franco Alamon. Takes a long look in. Now he comes set at the letters from the stretch. Looks over to second, but Fair runs back to the bag with no problem. The 5th Falmouth All-Star that'll appear at Eldridge Park on Sunday. Logan Hoffman, the junior from Northwestern State. Pitch from Alamon, misses outside. It's 1-0. Right-handed pitcher, Logan Hoffman. He's 2-0 with an 0.87 ERA in 6 appearances. So 3 bats, 2 arms for Falmouth appearing in Orleans on Sunday. All 3 of the hitters will be starting. Cruz, Cantrell, and Zach DeLoach. Of course, Cantrell, a late scratch here in tonight's ballgame, replaced by Tim Tawa at second. Now the 1-0 to Servideo. Called strike on the inside corner, and the count will even. So 5 Falmouth All-Stars, 3 Hyannis All-Stars, and 2 players in this contest, both getting starts, partaking in the Home Run Derby. One final time, it'll be Barron Radcliffe for Falmouth, Hunter Goodman for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Now the 1-1 to Servideo. Fastball, called strike on the inside corner, a borderline pitch from Alamon, but it's 1-2. So Servideo, looking to bring in Fair from second. He's got 2 RBIs on the season. And Hyannis looking to put the first earned run up on the board in the ball game and of the season against the FIU right-hander. He's got a 1-2 count with 2 away, 1-0 Falmouth the score. Pitch, down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Brendan touched on it earlier. Alamon, not a guy who's punched out a whole lot of hitters this summer on Cape Cod. He had just 12 coming into the night. Now he's racked up 15 with the trio so far. Of course, a different story in his school season. Punched out 53. Threw 65 and 2/3 innings, however. So a guy that just knows how to keep runs off the board, but not incredibly overpowering. 2-2. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes as Alamon started to walk off the mound, but he's going to have to receive the ball back from catcher Troy Clonch. And Servidio's got himself in a full count. Rowdy Jordan awaits on deck if we get there. Switch hitting outfielder from Mississippi State, who presumably will be hitting from the left side. Alamon gives Servidio, the Ole Miss Rebel, a long look. He shakes off a sign, now another. And finally gets one he likes, working from the first base side of the mound. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Alamon flexes both his biceps as he walks off the mound as he fans Anthony Servidio to end the bottom of the 5th. So make it 21 scoreless innings for Franco Alamon up on Cape Cod. And through 5 innings, it is still 1-0 Falmouth. For the Harbor Hawks in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the 6th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Falmouth sending Austin Maisel, Zach DeLoach, and Trey Cruz, the 2-3-4 to the plate as we begin the top of the 6th from McKeon Park, with Connor Ash back on the mound for the Hyannis Ball Club, set to work his 6th inning for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The righty comes set right at the belt, set to face Maisel for the 3rd time. Puts the glove over the face, rocks and fires first pitch, fastball low, it's 1 ball, no strikes. So Ash already with 8 strikeouts today. And that's a career high. Summer ball or school ball, the most he's ever totaled. 1-0 to Maisel, swinging a foul back out of play. His career high at school was a 6 strikeout performance. That was a 5-inning outing where he didn't give up a run. He walked just 1. And that was against the national champion Vanderbilt Commodores. That was May the 10th of 2019. As Ash takes a long look at the hitter Maisel, fires home the 1-1, swing and a miss and an off speed. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 6 strikeouts his career high at Missouri. He's totaled half a dozen strikeouts twice this summer on Cape Cod. Once against Chatham in 3 innings, once against Falmouth out at Gov Fuller Field in 4 innings. Now the 1-2. Swing and a tapper down the third base line. Olsen charges in. Gloves fires on the run to first in time. They get Maisel by a step, and there's 1 down in the top of the 6th. So a 5-3 put out for Maisel makes it an 0-for-3 night, and it'll bring up Zach DeLoach. But Connor Ash with 8 punch-outs tonight. 2 ticks higher than any outing he's ever had. Maybe it's just something about facing the Commodores. Again, his career high in strikeouts at school was against Vanderbilt. His career high in strikeouts now in total against Falmouth. Ash ready with the first pitch to Deloach. Breaking ball. Called strike at the knees. And you can't blame Ash for starting Deloach off with the first pitch breaking ball. He's done nothing but hit and hit and hit over the last 16 games now. A hit in 15 of his last 16 contests. Pitch from Ash. Swing and a tapper right back to the mound. Connor fields cleanly, flips over to fair at first, 2 away. So Deloach retired. 2 down. And it'll bring up the switch hitting Trey Cruz, although he'll hit from the left side. And Ash has really had it working. He's now retired 4 straight. Cruz the hitter as he's swinging the bat just outside the left-handed batter's box. He's retired 8 of his last 9 batters, that being Ash. Stands up on the right side of the mound. Rocks and deals the first pitch to the hitter Cruz. It's outside. And Trey Cruz, the difference maker in the game so far today. An RBI single in the top of the first. Plated Deloach from second after a 2-out double. That's all Ash has given up. Pitch. Down low. 2 balls, no strikes. And Connor's only walked 1 as well. Sometimes that's been a little bit of his Achilles heel, is his allowance of free passes, but nowhere near the case tonight. 2-0. Swing and a line drive through the 3-4 gap, a base hit. Trey Cruz punches a 2-out single through the right side as he picks up his second hit of the night, and it'll shift things to the catcher, Troy Clonch. So Falmouth tonight, now with 4 hits, as Chad Gassman's going to make his way out to the mound, and this will likely end Ash's night. But nothing but a tip of the cap to the Missouri right-hander. 5 2/3 innings of 1-run ball up to this point, as he'll exit the game, tallying his best start of the summer. Tyler Drabick, the right-hander out of Kent State, will come into the ballgame on the other side of the break. But with 2 away in the top of the 6th inning, it's Falmouth 1, Hyannis nothing. We'll be back in just a minute when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Two outs in the top of the 6th inning. Falmouth leading 1-0 with the runner on. And with Troy Clonch coming to the plate, it'll be the right-hander Tyler Drabick out of Kent State, set to make his 5th appearance of the summer for the Hyannis Ball Club. Clonch, the right-handed hitter, 0 for 2 as Drabick throws over to first, back with a head-first dive. The runner Trey Cruz after he punched a 2-out single into right field. Drabick on the summer, 0-1 with a 7.94 ERA. He's thrown 5 2/3 innings, walked 3, struck out 3. 6'3" right-hander, 205 pounds. Stretch and fires to Clonch, breaking ball that sweeps outside. His last appearance actually came against these very Commodores. Back on July the 9th, here where Falmouth took the contest 8-1. Drabick win an inning in 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. Comes set above the belt, offering, breaking ball, grounded to the third baseman Olson, fields cleanly, goes short way to Servideo at second. That ends the inning. So Tyler Drabick gets out of the top of the 6th, and the night for Connor Ash is officially closed. But through 6.5 frames, Falmouth still leads by a score of 1-0. For the Commodores in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. (9-1-2) coming to the plate for Hyannis in the bottom of the 6th inning. And just how Connor Ash made his way back on the mound for the top of the 6th, Franco Alamon, the Falmouth starter, back on the mound for the bottom of the 6th. He'll face a pair of Bulldogs to start the inning, with Rowdy Jordan being first from the left side. Pitch, swing, and a high pop-up into shallow right field. Moving out Tawa and Coots, coming in the right fielder Deloach, but it'll be Tawa calling everybody off to make the play over his shoulder for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 away for Rowdy Jordan, and that'll flip the lineup back to the top for Jordan Westberg. So Alamon, much like Ash, is also really working, and all of a sudden, right when the Harbor Hawks seem to be struggling with their pitching a little bit, the last week or so, they've been in a handful of pitchers' duels. They won one 2-0 a few nights ago out at Eldridge Park. They've been in a couple of battles to some extent in a pitcher's duel with Chatham as Westberg squares to Bunny, drops one down out in front of the plate, picked up by Alamon with the right hand throw to first. They got him by a half step. Westberg retired. He tried to bunt one down the third base line with the infield playing back. It went out in front of the mound, more toward the middle. Alamon raced off the dirt, came and picked up the baseball and made a strong throw to first to retire the Mississippi State Bulldog Westberg. So in the blink of an eye, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. It'll bring up Rigsby Mosley. Mosley today 0 for 2. Fly out to right and a ground out to second. And Alamon ready with the first offering. Fastball right at the knees, called strike 1. So Alamon has absolutely been cruising. 6 innings is his season high. That came against Bourne. Pitch, line drive into right field. Deloach coasting over, and he makes the grab. Bottom of the 6th inning, we barely knew ya. 1, 2, 3 go the Harbor Hawks, and Franco Alamon has made it 22 straight scoreless innings on his career in Cape Cod. And through 6 frames, it's Falmouth 1, Hyannis 0. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for the Harbor Hawks. And we'll go to the 7th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jackson Coots, Barron Radcliffe, Austin Langworthy, the 6, 7, 8 for Falmouth coming to the plate against the right-hander Tyler Drabick. Back out on the mound in relief. Coots today, 0 for 2, lined out to right and struck out swinging. As Drabick fires home, swing and a high fly ball into left center field. Hover coasting back into his left. He's got a beat on it. Makes the grab to put it away for the first out. So quick dismissal of the hitter Jackson Coots, and it'll transfer things to Barron Radcliffe with 1 away. So for Tyler Drabick, he's now thrown 2/3 of an inning. Came on to get the final out of the top of the 6th. But for Connor Ash, puts together his strongest start of the summer of 2019. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And the pitch to Radcliffe, swinging a tip back into the glove of Goodman, 0-1. And one final time for Ash. 8 strikeouts, the highest punch-out total he's ever had since entering college play, summer or school season. So Drabick gets the sign. He fires home the 0-1. Breaking ball hits the outer edge. It's 0-2. Radcliffe today comes into the at-bat 0 for 2. And Drabick looks strong in his outing so far. Gets the sign from Goodman. Kicks and delivers. Swinging a tapper foul back behind the plate. So no doubt a pitcher's duel here tonight. And as a result, it's gone by pretty quickly. Game started just after 6:30, but here we are on the top of the 7th. It's just before 8:30. Actually, game probably started closer to 6:45. Pitch to the hitter, Barron Radcliffe. It's away, 1-2. So the infield back, 1-2 with 1 away. Falmouth still leading 1-0. The only run coming on that Trey Cruz single in the bottom of the 1st. Or top of the 1st, rather. 1-2 from Drabick. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, this is back-to-back nights. Hyannis has seen pitchers reach a career high in strikeouts. Tonight, it's just a guy of their own team. Connor Ash with the 8. Most he's totaled in school ball or summer ball. Drabick's ready with a 2-2 offering. Here it comes. Swinging a fly ball. Deep right center field. Back goes Jordan. Still going at the wall. It's gone! Barron Radcliffe, his 3rd home run of the summer. And the Georgia Tech product makes it 2-0 Falmouth in the top of the 7th inning. Radcliffe, RBI number 13 of the summer. As he steps on the plate, exchanges high fives all around. And it's now a 2-run lead for the Commodores as Drabick gives up a 1-out bomb.
Well, Radcliffe showing off why he'll be in the home run derby next Sunday as he sends one into deep right center field. Rowdy Jordan gave it a look back toward the wall, but no chances. He had to watch it sail and be a spectator.
Now the hitter, Austin Langworthy, will come up. Drabick ready, the first pitch. Down low, it's 1 ball, no strikes. So Drabick looking to flush the home run and still put together a nice relief outing as he misses away. Just one bad pitch from the right-hander. Radcliffe got it all. There's no doubt about that. Cleared the fence by about 10 feet out in right center. And now the 2-0 from the Kent State righty. Fastball, that misses just away. 3 balls, no strikes the count. A right-hander getting loose in the Hyannis bullpen. It's Kyle Murphy out of Northeastern. And now the 3-0 from Drabick. Down low, and he loses Langworthy on 4 pitches. So a walk to the Florida Gator puts a runner on with 1 out. It'll bring up the number 9 man, Kevin Kendall. So Kendall comes into the night 0 for 2, or comes into the at-bat. Chad Gassman's now going to make his way out to the mound, and it looks like this might end Drabick's night. Infield coming in, Gassman making a slow walk out. But Brennan, game's still within arm's reach. There's no doubt about it for Hyannis. It really just takes 1 inning. It's only 2-0.
Yeah, and you mentioned just one bad pitch by Drabick and one mistake tonight. And, the hitter Baron Radcliffe got absolutely all of it. And unfortunately for Hyannis, the offense hasn't been able to come through, but the pitching has really come to the forefront again. They've done their job to this point in the ballgame for sure to keep Hyannis in this one. Only 2-0 and still a handful of at-bats left.
So Drabick's going to exit the game, and a right-hander is going to come in on the other side of the break. It'll be Kyle Murphy to take the ball and look to keep a 2-0 lead at bay, keeping it within striking distance for Hyannis. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. It'll be Kevin Kendall digging into the left side of the box as we bring you back in the top of the 7th inning with Falmouth up 2-0. Runner on first, 1 out, and Kyle Murphy, the right-hander out of Northeastern, comes into the game for Hyannis. First thing he does is throw over to first, but back with a head-first dive, the runner Austin Langworthy after drawing the 1-out walk. For Kyle Murphy, he's making his 7th appearance of the summer, 5th out of the bullpen. 14 innings, 0-2 with an ERA just over 10. Comes set, takes a breath, fires a breaking ball, catches the zone for strike 1. Murphy's last appearance also against the Commodores, much like Tyler Drabick, the first reliever into the game. They came on that same date back on July the 9th. Murphy went 4 1/3. Fires over to first, tag applied by Fair, but Langworthy back safely. 4 1/3 innings in that July the 9th outing. 4 earned runs on 7 hits. He struck out 5. Kendall today, Strikeout, swinging, and a fly out to left, with Langworthy getting a lead at first. Fakes a steal, but pitch in, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Langworthy already stolen one bag today. That was his second of the summer. And now it's an 0-2 count to Kevin Kendall, as Murphy looks to pick up his first strikeout. Servideo shifted a little bit toward the bag at second at his position as Murphy fires over. Tag applied by Fair, had to reach way over to his right, but keeps the ball within distance. And no advance from Langworthy to second base. So for Tyler Drabeck, his line on the night, still open, but as of now, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. He's responsible for the runner Langworthy on first after issuing him a 4-pitch walk. Murphy the stretch in the 0-2, swing and a miss. Kevin Kendall strikes out for the second time tonight. Murphy makes it his first punch out of the ball game. And that'll flip the lineup back to Tim Tawa at the top with 2 away. So Falmouth still leading 2-0. Tawa today 0 for 3. Pop out, a fly out, and a strikeout swinging. He was the 8th of 8 punch outs for Connor Ash. And Tawa on the season, hitting just .212. Murphy comes set right at the letters. Pitch to Tawa, breaking ball, clips the outside corner, 0-1. Tawa just watched it go by, first pitch off speed. Gave a little bit of a flinch at it, but nothing more. Jackson Olsen playing even with the bag at third. Fair holding on the runner at first, that's Langworthy, with the middle infielders playing back and straight up. 0-1, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So Falmouth has a lot of guys in the lineup with very low averages. In fact, tonight, there's currently 3 players in the Commodores lineup with sub-200 clips, but the top of the lineup does their damage as Murphy fires over to first. That's really the first 4. Usually Hayden Cantrell. He's not in the lineup tonight, but when he is an absolute stalwart. Him, Austin Maisel, Zach Deloach, Trey Cruz. They get the job done. As a result, Falmouth sits in 3rd place in the West Division. 0-2, weak wave and a miss, strike 3. Tim Tawa punches out to end the top of the 7th frame, and Murphy makes it back-to-back Ks to end the top of the 7th. For Falmouth in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. It's Commodores 2, Harbor Hawks nothing, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Bottom of the 7th inning here from McKeon Park. Hyannis back to the plate. They trail it 2-0 here at home. Trevor Hover, Hunter Goodman, and Jared DeSantillo up to the plate against Franco Alamont. My goodness, has he been special tonight. 6 scoreless frames to this point and back on the hill for Falmouth, looking to make it a 7th. 22 straight to start his Cape Cod League season. First pitch to Trevor, swung on, popped up, foul left side, out of play. Now, Trevor tonight has been aboard twice. This is his 3rd plate appearance here coming in the 7th. A walk that came back in the 1st inning, a single in the 4th, and was gunned down trying to swipe second in that frame as well. So the Sun Devil trying to get something going for the Hyannis offense here in the 7th. Against Alamont, who has been untouchable tonight and has dazzled out on the hill. Misses with a breaking ball down and in here, 1-1. But if Hyannis is to get something going off the right-hander from FIU here in this inning, they've got the right part of the lineup up to do it. Hopper at the plate, Goodman on deck, and DeSantolo to follow as a 1-1 comes in. Misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. Trey Cruz, the third baseman, was crept in on the infield grass. Now is back behind the third base bag as Hopper resets himself in the left-handed batter's box. 2-1 from Alamon. Fastball, Hopper swings and sends it down the first baseline, foul into the Falmouth dugout. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting left fielder tonight for Hyannis. Trevor, a .215 hitter coming into action tonight in Alamon on the hill. We know about his 16 scoreless innings coming into the evening, and has tacked on 6 more as he works here in the bottom of the 7th. Right-hander from the windup, the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Hopper goes down swinging for the first out of the 7th, the 5th strikeout of the night for Alamon. That'll bring up Hunter Goodman.
Well, again, not a guy that punched out a whole lot of hitters, at least to start the summer. But he's racked up 5 here tonight. His season high is 6. And he's kept these Hyannis bats off balance. There's no question about it.
So Hunter Goodman digs in for the 3rd time, trying to get something going off of Alamon. He has been absolutely untouchable tonight. First pitch to Goodman, swings and bounces it down the third baseline, foul. Off the railing of the Hyannis dugout as Chad Gassman will go retrieve it in foul ground. Backs out of his third base coaching box to go retrieve it and send it back to one of the ball girls. No balls and a strike to the Memphis Tiger in the right-handed box. Goodman, along with Barron Radcliffe, will be featured in the home run derby. Goodman looks at a breaking ball up high at the letters, count evens. And Radcliffe has already gotten the better of Hyannis tonight for a long ball to put this lead out to 2-0. That's where we stand right now. So Goodman trying to see a pitch from Alamon to flex his muscles on as the 1-1 comes in. Fastball swung on and a dribbler to the left side in foul ground. And the count moves to 1-2 in favor of Alamon.
And Alamon, you just alluded to it, he flexed his muscles earlier. When he ended one of his previous frames, he just squeezed both those biceps in elation as he walked off the mound.
Well, that was back in the 5th inning. He picked up back-to-back strikeouts to get out of that frame. Ian Fair recorded a double to put Hyannis in scoring position as Goodman sends a 1-2 pitch up and over the Falmouth dugout off to the right out of play. And that was one of the only times that Hyannis had put a threat on the right-hander from FIU all night. He recorded his 3rd strikeout against Jackson Olsen and followed that up by fanning Servideo to end the frame. He's recorded his 5th to start off the 7th against Trevor Hopper, and he's got a 1-2 count to Goodman. The pitch swung on Tapper just behind the plate, foul. In and out of the glove of Klotch behind the dish as Goodman will step out.
Yeah, and Fair was the only runner that's reached second base tonight for Hyannis either. The only runner in scoring position. Alamon has been economical. That's probably an understatement.
When Hyannis has recorded 4 hits in the ballgame tonight to Falmouth's 5. But it's been the Commodores to put up the runs on the board. It's 2-0 where we stand here from McKeon Park. Just past 8:30 Eastern time. 1-2 from Alamon. On the outside corner, strike 3, he got him. Make it half a dozen for the FIU righty. 6 on the ballgame, back-to-back to start the bottom of the 7th. And Jared DeSantolo, the last chance in the frame for the Harbor Hawks. Again, Alamon just pumping in a fastball. Goodman had no chance as it whizzed right by him, froze the Memphis Tiger. But Goodman, an 0-for-3 evening. DeSantolo trying to change an 0-for-2 outing for himself. Nobody on, 2 down. Hyannis half of the 7th inning. Alamon from the windup. First pitch. Fastball outside, 1-0.
And Alamon really working on some summer highs. He's already made it his summer high in innings pitched. He's tied his summer high in strikeouts. Of course, still has not given up a run all season.
1-0 to DeSantolo. Fastball on the inside corner. Count draws even, a ball and a strike. So Jaron came in a .316 hitter, an 0-for-2 performance to this point. So that average slipping a little bit more, trying to turn the tide for himself here from McKeon Park. Alamon's 1-1 on the way. DeSantolo swings and bloops it over the glove, but caught by Coots up the ladder. He snow-coned it. Coots gave a slight leap, moving a step to his right to get DeSantolo for the 3rd out of the inning. And another score was framed from Franco Alamon. He continues to roll, still 2-0. Falmouth back to the plate in the top of the 8th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We bring you back to McKeon Park for action in the top of the 8th. It's 2-0. The Commodores with the advantage. Kyle Murphy back on the hill as he fires the breaking ball low and away. 1-0 the count. It'll be Austin Maisel, Zach DeLoach, and Trey Cruz due up in the inning. Austin Maisel went 0 for 3 evening at the top of the Falmouth lineup. 1-0 from Murphy. Fastball just off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes as Maisel works himself ahead. And Maisel was a strikeout victim back in the 3rd inning. Lined out to shortstop in his first plate appearance and most recently in the 6th. Bounce one over to Jackson Olsen and down the third base line. 2-0 from Murphy. Fastball outside, but a called strike. Maisel not happy as he turns and looks back down the first baseline toward his dugout. On the count, 2 balls and a strike. Murphy, the Northeastern Husky right-hander, the 3rd arm into the game for Chad Gassman and his Hyannis Arborhawks ball club. He's set the 2-1. Maisel swings and taps one foul straight back off the brick wall. Well, the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Zach DeLoach, the dangerous hitter on deck. He's already picked up a double tonight. Very formidable hitter in the on-deck area. Maisel takes a step out. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count as Murphy looking to silence the Falmouth lineup here in the 8th inning once again and get his bats back to the plate. 2-2. Maisel goes after it, pops it up left side in foul ground. Goodman loses the mask and ranges after it, but he'll watch it sail off the bleachers and out of play. So for Kyle Murphy on the season, this is his 7th appearance, his 5th in relief. An 0-2 record with a 10.28 earned run average in 14 innings. And it's been a little bit of a rough go for it as of late for the Northeastern product. His last appearance came on July the 9th right here against these same Commodores. He took the loss in that game as part of an 8-1 defeat. The payoff delivery, swing and a miss, strike 3. Goodman out of the crouch to go get it. Throws up the first baseline in time to fair. Murphy records his 3rd strikeout. First one here to start off the 8th inning, and that'll transition things to the Falmouth right fielder, Zach DeLoach. And DeLoach has reached base twice tonight. A double back in the 1st inning and came around to score, walked and was stranded at 2nd back in the 4th inning. But DeLoach, no strangers to hitting off these Harbor Hawks. He launched 2 home runs last time these Commodores made the trek out to McKeon Park. Both of them over the scoreboard out in right field. Absolute moonshots as he looks at a breaking ball down and in from Murphy. It's 1-0. And for Zach DeLoach, an outbreak here on Cape Cod after hitting just 181 in his school season. And sometimes that'll do it to hitters. This league will certainly humble you. 1-0 from Murphy. Breaking ball. Check swing from DeLoach. Appealed down to first base, and he went around. Count evens a ball and a strike. So for DeLoach being provided his shot with the Falmouth Commodores on the summer of 2019, and he has certainly made the most of it. A .395 hitter entering the night, 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. And he has gotten the all-star nod for this Falmouth ball club, and rightfully so. It's been one heck of a campaign, and his starter has been on fire tonight here from McKeon Park as well, as the 1-1 is dribbled back into the right foul. So for Falmouth, a ball club that sits in third place in the Western Division. Hyannis, a team looking up at them in the cellar, but they've got to get past the Bourne Braves first. Bourne Braves were out at Doran Park tonight hosting the Cotuit Kettleers. Murphy's 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Deloach goes down for the 4th punch out of the night, courtesy of Kyle Murphy, and the Northeastern product rolling out of the bullpen for Hyannis. There's 2 down here in the top of the 8th. That'll bring in Trey Cruz. A 2 for 3 night all told. He's picked up an RBI in the process as well. And back to the scoreboard watching Bourne and Cotuit in the bottom of the 6th inning, knotted up at 2 apiece at Doran Park. Hyannis, in order to tie this ball game against the Commodores, going to have to get 2 of their own at least, as the breaking ball dropped in for a strike to Cruz. It's 0-1. Just a quick look around the rest of the league as well. The YD Red Sox took down the Harwich Mariners 5-4 out at Red Wilson. The Brewster Whitecaps on top of the Chatham Anglers 2-1. That game in the top of the 7th. 0-1 for Murphy. Breaking ball, swing and a miss from Cruz. He went out of the zone. And Murphy has worked himself ahead to a 2-strike count. Lasky has put himself 1 pitch away from making it a 1-2-3 8th inning and striking out the side. Right here to come set the pitch. Inside, off the leg guard. It sounded like it got something. Home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg walking it out down the third baseline. It made a big clank off of a pad. Not sure if that was off of a pad or the hand of Larry Rosenberg as he's flexing it out in front of the home plate area. Catcher Hunter Goodman out to the mound to have a quick conference with Murphy to give the umpire some time to recover. Trey Cruz has not moved out of his left-handed batter's box. Now he's slightly walking up the first baseline, and now a trainer will come out to check on Rosenberg to make sure he's all right. Not a nasty sound. That ball might have gotten 2 birds with 1 stone as Rosenberg still flexing out that right hand. So the count is 1-2 for Trey Cruz, and a round of applause for Larry as he steps back behind the plate. So 0-2 as Cruz resets himself, trying to pick up his 3rd base hit of the night off Kyle Murphy. Murphy's made it back-to-back punch-outs to start the 8th inning, trying to retire the side in order. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball right back at him. He snags it in the air. Kyle Murphy with a heck of a play to retire the side. Score that one in L1 as Murphy evades trouble right back at him. He snags it out of midair. And Falmouth goes 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th. A pair of punch-outs in the frame. And a scoreless inning as the lead is still kept at 2-0 Falmouth. Hyannis back to the plate, trying to crank start the offense when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from McKeon Park in the bottom of the 8th inning, Hyannis with some work to do as they trail things 2-0 here at home at McKeon Park. From one all-star arm for Falmouth to another, Franco Alamon gives way to Logan Hoffman out of the bullpen. And the all-star for Falmouth hails from Munster, Saskatchewan, a junior out of Northwestern State University, set to toe the slab for the Commodores as we move into the late frames in the ballgame. Ian Fair will be the first man to greet him, followed by Jackson Olson and Anthony Servideo. As the Northeastern product steps into the right-handed batter's box and looks at a fastball, a hard one at the top of the zone, 0-1. So for Logan Hoffman, 2-0 on his season, a .87 ERA, a minuscule earned run average to this point. He's made 6 appearances. This his 7th coming at McKeon Park. 0-1. Breaking ball into Fair, checks his swing, appeal down to first, and he went around. Count 0-2. So Ian Fair came into the night a .444 hitter. And he's picked up a couple of base knocks to this point, a single and a double. He's halfway to the cycle. But an 0-2 count against Hoffman as the pitch comes in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fair goes after a breaking ball out of the zone. And Logan Hoffman picks up his 16th strikeout of the summer. And that'll give way to Jackson Olson here in the 8th. And just touching upon Logan Hoffman for just a second. He's worked 10 1/3 innings for Falmouth this summer. Getting the nod in the All-Star game, he'll head out to Eldridge Park next Sunday. 6 walks to now 16 strikeouts. You can uptick it 1 from 15 entering the night. As Olson swings at the first pitch and fouls it back into the net, it's 0-1. Just how effective has Hoffman been? Well, to the tune of just 3 hits that his opponents have been able to muster up off of him at this point in 2019. For Jackson, it's been an 0-2 night. He's got an 0-1 count. Pitch comes in, fastball, strike 2 on the outside corner. So Jackson Olson finds himself down in a 2-strike count with 1 away here in the Hyannis half of the 8th inning. And Logan Hoffman looking to pick up right where Franco Alamon left off. The 0-2. Breaking ball into the dirt. Swing and a miss from Olson. Back behind the plate. Clunch to go get it. Throw up the first baseline in time. And back-to-back strikeouts to start things in the 8th inning. So Logan Hoffman, how about it? Right out of the bullpen. Picking up right where the starter from FIU left off. And what a night it was for the starter, Franco Alamon. That'll bring up Anthony Servideo. Last chance for Hyannis here in the 8th inning, trailing things 2-0. But back to Alamon for just a second. 7 scoreless innings, a span of 23 frames that he's pitched scoreless this summer so far. His first pitch to Servideo dropped in for a strike. It's 0-1. And Anthony's already punched out twice tonight. Once in the 3rd and once in the 5th. As Hoffman rocks and fires. Breaking ball inside. That ran in and got Servideo off the inside leg. So Anthony will head down to first base off the hit by pitch. Now the first base runner Hyannis has had since Ian Fair's double back in the 5th inning. So now it'll be the number 9 man, Rowdy Jordan, to step in with 1 on and 2 away. But again, Franco Alamon, 7 scoreless innings, just 4 hits for Hyannis, 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. So not a guy that was too overpowering, but absolutely dominant and knew how to get outs when necessary. Hyannis only pushed 1 runner into scoring position. That was the Ian Fair double. First pitch, fastball a bit high at the letters. It's 1-0 to Rowdy Jordan. So 2 all-star arms coming on tonight for the Commodores against Hyannis, making life tough on the Harbor Hawks, who are in search of their 7th win of the summer. Hoffman into the stretch, spins and fires back to first. Heads in safely is the runner Anthony Servideo at first. Falmouth infield crept back to normal depth with 2 down in the inning. Rowdy Jordan trying to continue an offensive surge for Hyannis here in the 8th inning in the late frames. 4 hits to this point to Falmouth's 5. Hoffman set the pitch. 1-0, cut and a miss through a hard fastball. Jordan went after it on the outside part of the plate, came up empty. The count pulls even, a ball and a strike. Well, Logan Hoffman's last appearance came on July the 10th at the Catawba Cavaliers. He went 2/3 in that frame, but it was spotless. No hits, no runs, no walks, and struck out 1. It was a quick outing. He's been known to have those. 1-1. Jordan swings and fouls it straight back into the net. 1-2 the count. Just 3 times this season has Hoffman gone beyond 2 innings of work. As a matter of fact, he split those appearances. Made 6 on the season. 3 short of 2 innings, 3 north of 2 innings. Most recent one, he went 2 2/3, picking up the win at the Brewster Whitecaps And again, gave up no hits, no runs, walked 2 and struck out 4 in that game. Jordan 0 for 2 on the night, batting here with a 1-2 count and 2 down. Hyannis half of the inning here from McKeon Park. Logan Hoffman gives a long stare down at his catcher Clutch as he comes set at the belt. Kicks and fires. Jordan swings. Pop up left side. Foul out of play. So the Mississippi State Bulldog, just a 128 hitter on the Cape this summer. But that's not to take anything away from what he did at school, where he put together a 298 campaign. He was absolutely splendid. Trying to come through here out of the number 9 hole for Hyannis in the 8th inning and extend this frame for the time being against the all-star Logan Hoffman. Into the stretch from the first base side of the rubber, kicks and fires, 1-2 in the dirt. Knocked down by Clutch in between the legs as the runner, Servideo, retreats back to first. So deuce is wild here in the Hyannis 8th inning. Or rather, Rowdy Jordan had put together a 290 season with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, but still a very, very effective campaign for that Bulldogs club. Made it all the way out to Omaha in the College World Series. Hoffman set his 2-2. Breaking ball dropped in, strike 3. Jordan knew it. He was frozen on a breaking ball. The third strikeout for Logan Hoffman. He retires the side on strikes. In the middle, sandwiched a hit by pitch for Anthony Servideo, but Hyannis unable to bring him around. And we'll go to the 9th inning with the score. Commodores 2, Harbor Hawks nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 9th inning here from McKeon Park in a 2-0 ball game. Kyle Murphy back to the hill. He's been very, very effective for Chad Gassman out of the Hyannis bullpen tonight. But having to face Troy Klontz, Jackson Coots, and Barron Radcliffe here in the top of the 9th in order to get his Hyannis bats one last chance in the bottom of the frame. Troy Klontz will step in tonight. He's been a strikeout victim twice and bounced into a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. Kyle Murphy's racked up 4 punch-outs to this point out of the pen for Hyannis tonight as he winds and fires. First pitch, breaking ball outside. It's 1-0. So the Northeastern product, Murphy, after a couple of rough appearances, has really shined tonight here at McKeon Park. Trying to shut down the Falmouth bats as they bring up 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. Breaking ball, grounded left side foul past the third base coaching box and toward the Hyannis bullpen. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Pitching has really come to the forefront yet again here at McKeon Park. It's been the trend over the last couple games for Hyannis. Low scoring affairs and not a ton of offense as a 1-1 comes in from Murphy. Breaking ball smacked foul back off the screen. With the count of ball and 2 strikes. The right-handed hitting catcher Klontz. But if you want to talk about pitching, look no further than the 2 arms that have been on the mound for Falmouth tonight. Franco Alamon and Logan Hoffman have combined for 8 shutout innings to this point, really keeping the Hyannis offense on their heels. 1-2 from Murphy. Grounder back to him off the mound, cuts off some distance and will underhand flip to fair at first in time for the out. So Kyle Murphy continues to roll in his own right out of the pen. And 1 down here in the 9th inning for Jackson Coots.
I was just going to say, Kyle Murphy's putting together an outing of his own. I mean, he's looked really, really strong so far. For Murphy, the right-hander, I mean, he gets that ground out right there, but already 4 strikeouts.
He's retired 5 in a row, dating back to when he came in to face Kevin Kendall in the 7th inning. First pitch to the new hitter, Coots, line right at Servideo, falls to the ground and makes the diving snag. Now Coots put one on a line right at Servideo, able to make the lunging grab. So one pitch for Jackson Coots in that at bat, and he's retired. That'll bring up Aaron Radcliffe with 2 down.
Yeah, it's like you said. I mean, Murphy has faced the minimum so far. 7 up, 7 down with 4 strikeouts. Gets a little bit of help from Servideo there. He's doing a good job keeping Hyannis in the ballgame, giving an offense a chance in the 9th inning.
So Aaron Radcliffe steps in, fresh off a home run in his last at bat as he cuts and misses through a breaking ball. First pitch of the at bat, it's 0-1. So Murphy's been showing some strikeout stuff tonight, along with being able to pitch to some contact. Jackson Coots with a hard line under Servideo, but right at the Ole Miss Rebel. Kyle Murphy looking to make it a second straight 1-2-3 inning dating back to the 8th. 0-1 to Radcliffe. Fastball catches the bottom of the zone, make it 0-2. Radcliffe turns the head back, a couple of words for home plate umpire Larry Rosenberg. Radcliffe just a 195 hitter, but will be featured in the Home Run Derby this upcoming Sunday. He showed off why earlier on in this ballgame. 0-2. Fastball just misses off the outer part of the plate. Tried to get Radcliffe to go out of the zone and chase after it. Couldn't do it. Count a ball and 2 strikes. And there's some stirring in both bullpens. Now Falmouth will get a right-hander up and throwing. So Logan Hoffman, we'll see how long he elects to go. 1-2. Just outside. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And for Falmouth, it's Thomas Gerard, the right-hander out of Duke, getting loose in the bullpen. They said some light action down in the Hyannis bullpen, but Murphy just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning.
So action has ceased down the left field line for the time being. 2-2 comes in. Breaking ball low. Count fills up. So Radcliffe, the home run, the only hit he's had tonight, but picked up an RBI, obviously driving in himself with a solo shot. Struck out twice prior to that. He's got a full count here against the Northeastern Husky, Kyle Murphy, who comes set at the chest, kicks and fires a payoff pitch. Bouncing ball right side, foul. Just past the 9 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. First pitch of this one was 6:42. A little bit of a delayed start tonight from McKeon Park, but baseball ultimately ensued following the slight delay. Count still filled up to Radcliffe. Murphy set, comes home with the next payoff pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul behind the plate. So Radcliffe putting up a tough fight with 2 strikes against Murphy. Kyle trying to work out it this 9th inning. Radcliffe putting up a tough fight with nobody on and 2 away. Right-hander glove tucked under his left shoulder as he brings it to the chest. Gets a sign from Goodman. Kicks and fires a 3-2. Back up the middle over the head of Westberg into left center, a base hit. So Radcliffe dumps one down in front of Rowdy Jordan in center. He's aboard for the 2nd time tonight. Hits in back-to-back plate appearances and extends this top of the 9th inning for Austin Langworthy. So a good piece of contact there going opposite field for Radcliffe. Raising that average a couple of points. And now Austin Langworthy steps in, looking to get aboard for the 3rd time tonight in his own right. So Radcliffe breaking up a streak of 7 up and 7 down for the right-hander on the hill. He gets a rather short lead up at first, held on by Fair, takes off with the pitch. Pitch outside to throw down from Goodman will be not in time as Radcliffe snags second. So Radcliffe showing off the wheels, wasting no time, taking off with the first pitch of the at-bat to Langworthy. So a runner in scoring position for Falmouth, trying to tack on an insurance run before the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 runs on 6 hits. The Hyannis pitching has done their job to this point. The bats have not gotten going. And that's been the trend over the last couple of evenings. Langworthy waves the bat. He's got a count of 0-1 against him as Goodman sets up outside. Murphy set the pitch. Fastball down. Count evens 1-1. Murphy in his school season, we talked about the strikeout stuff he's had tonight. Picked up 66 punch-outs in his school season with Northeastern and 67 2/3 innings of work. So a high volume of usage for the Husky squad. Making his 7th appearance in a Harbor Hawk uniform this summer. 1-1. Langworthy takes outside on a fastball, 2-1. And Murphy started 11 games for that Northeastern squad in 2019 as a redshirt junior. But he's been coming out of the bullpen primarily here on Cape Cod this summer for Chad Gassman. 2-1 to Langworthy comes in. Breaking ball, Langworthy smacks it toward first, but snagged by Fair on the backhand. And that is how the top of the ninth inning will end. So Falmouth strands one in the inning. Can't push across that insurance run. They strand Radcliffe out at second base. It's Commodores 2, Harbor Hawks nothing as we go to the bottom of the ninth on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bottom of the ninth inning here from McKeon Park, and the last chance for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks tonight. Falmouth turns to their third arm of the game. It's the Duke Blue Devil, Thomas Gerard, into the ballgame. He hails from Simsbury, Connecticut, and he's making his fifth appearance on the road for the Commodores this season. An ERA of 3 flat and 0-run record, but he has been very, very effective. However, in his last appearance on July the 13th against Brewster, that's when he allowed his only 2 earned runs of the season. And if it's any consolation, Hyannis puts the top of the lineup to the plate, starting with Jordan Westberg. Breaking ball dropped in for a strike to the knees on the first pitch of the frame. It's 0-1. Westberg tonight, a 1-for-3 evening, and a hit that came all the way back in the first inning. Besides that, he's been a strikeout victim and sent one back to the mound in the 6th. Trying to jumpstart this Hyannis offense late in the ballgame in the bottom of the 9th, trying to rally for their 7th win of the season. 0-1, another breaking ball, catches the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Now Westberg laying off one that was a bit high, perhaps, to his liking, but still a strike nonetheless, and he's down 2 strikes in the count as he steps back in and taps the plate and waves the bat toward Gerard. Right-hander brings the glove set at the chest. A pause, now the 0-2 delivery. Fastball, Westberg swings and bounces it back up the middle, a base hit. So that's how you want to start the inning if you're Hyannis. Westberg gets aboard to start it up. His second base hit of the evening. That'll bring up Rigsby Mosley with 1 on, nobody out.
Now that's the 6th multi-hit game of the summer for Jordan Westberg. A pair of singles tonight, and it brings the tying run Rigsby Mosley to the plate.
Well, Mosley has been a productive bat in late game situations for Chad Gassman. He's come in on multiple pinch hit occasions, but tonight it's been an 0-for-3 performance to this point. Trying to change all that with a base hit right here and move Westberg up into scoring position to get Hyannis a bit closer. Trevor Hauber loosening up on deck. First pitch from Gerard. Fastball, Mosley bounces it toward the first baseman. Coots fires to second for one. Return throw from Kendall back to first, not in time as Gerard couldn't get over to cover the bag. So they erase Westberg on the fielder's choice. Mosley trades places with him, but now there's one down, and Trevor Hauber stepping in.
Yeah, Gerard just didn't get off the bag and cover in time. He fell asleep a little bit on the mound. As a result, he could have had a chance to double off Rigsby Mosley. Instead, like you said, just one runner erased, and Hauber represents the tying run.
So perhaps a blessing in disguise for Hyannis as it saves them an out, with Gerard not being able to bust over to first base and cover the bag for the return throw for the double play. So Hauber steps in. He's reached base twice tonight. 1-for-2 performance. He's also drawn a walk as Gerard comes home with a first pitch breaking ball good for a strike. And Gerard this season, he's racked up a strikeout in each of his 4 appearances. And he's picked up 2 or more 3 times. So definitely has some swing and miss stuff in the arsenal. Trying to shut down Hyannis, who's in search of their 7th win of the season here at home. Comes home with an 0-1. Fastball and catches the inside corner. It's 0-2 to Hauber. Infielder shaded at double play depth. That's Kendall and Tawa. Third baseman Cruz dollying back and forth behind and in front of the third base bag. Now with a 0-2 count to Hauber. He resides a couple of steps behind the bag. Mosley aboard at first. 1 down. Hyannis bottom half of the 9th inning. Gerard set a pause. Now is 0-2. Hauber swings and launches one down the right side, but twisting well foul. And oh man, was Hauber in front of that one, but he got all of it. Just couldn't keep it fair down the right field line. That would have tied the ball game. And Hauber knows he just missed one. So the count 0-2 as that one sails foul off into the night. Would have been Hauber's 2nd home run of the summer. His first came here, well, not here, on the road against these same Falmouth Commodores, however. It was a grand slam that led Hyannis to a 10-4 victory that night. Gerard's 0-2. Fastball outside. Had one to waste. Couldn't get Hauber to go after it. A ball and 2 strikes. Franco Alamon and Logan Hoffman, the 2 all-star arms for Falmouth, combining for 8 shutout innings. And Gerard trying to lock the door on his 3rd save of the summer. He's got Hauber in a 1-2 count here. Hauber looking to make it a 2-hit night. He had a single back in the 4th. Gerard comes set. Mosley off of first. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Bounces it up to Claunch. Mosley took a couple steps towards second, but decides to retreat back to first. The count evens 2-2 to Trevor. And if Hauber can find a way aboard here, that would make things a whole lot more interesting with the man standing on deck being Hunter Goodman. And we know the kind of power the Memphis Tiger possesses. That is a guy Gerard does not want to see. Double play still is in order as the 2-2 comes to Hauber. Swung on, line back up the middle, falling fast and in front of the center fielder. Maisel, a base hit. Mosley up to second base. Hauber to first with a 2-hit evening. And now it's Hunter Goodman with a chance in the 9th.
Hauber works a good count. Like you said, he was out in front of that one that he crushed down the right field line, but right there, takes one on the outer half of the plate, stays with it. Maisel was shifted the right way toward Hauber, but he didn't have enough time to come in on it. If he had given it a dive, it probably would have fallen way behind him. Now that paves the way for Hunter Goodman.
So as Goodman steps in, 2 aboard and 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. Hyannis knocking on the door. They're not making life tough for Falmouth to close this one out. Goodman set in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch from Gerard comes in. Fastball inside. A bit close on the inside corner as Goodman raised the elbows out of the way, but it's ruled the ball. Count 1-0. So things have become a whole lot more interesting here from McKeon Park down the stretch. Rigsby Mosley in scoring position off of second. Trevor Hauber off of first. Gerard's 1-0. Goodman, a big swing and a miss. Almost came out of his shoes on an inside breaking ball. Count evens a ball and a strike. Man, was Goodman looking to send that one yard and send us home. Goodman this season with runners in scoring position, a .321 average, and he's picked up 19 of his 26 RBIs. Those 26 league leading. Gerard's 1-1. Breaking ball, Goodman sends one into deep left field. Langworthy going back on it. He'll have it lined up and make the grab a few steps in front of the track. The crowd came to their feet for just a second, but that ball died out in left field. Langworthy lined it up and made the grab. Goodman just missing one.
Well, certainly off the bat, he thought maybe, but he probably just got it a little too far off the end as Langworthy was taken back a few feet in front of the track to make the grab. And a few fans stood up, thought maybe there was a chance. Like you said, it just died down.
And the ball not really carrying here tonight at McKeon Park. It's been a bit of a muggy night. Some fly balls stopping dead in their tracks in their path in the outfield. That time Langworthy had more than enough room to make the grab on Goodman. So now it's Jared DeSantolo, the last chance for Hyannis tonight, with 2 on and 2 outs. Gerard set, fires first pitch from the stretch, a fastball outside, 1-0. And for Jared this season, he's been Mr. Consistency, but has fallen into a slump as of late. But what a time to break out of it here in the 9th inning with 2 down. He's got a 1-0 count here against the Duke Blue Devil, Thomas Gerard. He's trying to lock in his 3rd save of the season as he comes home with a 1-0. DeSantolo dribbles one foul left side off the brick wall and back toward the field of play. So the count evens up at 1-1. DeSantolo's been able to pick up 4 RBIs to this point on the season. He's got a chance for 5 to cut the lead in half with Rigsby Mosley out in scoring position at second base. Bat rests atop DeSantolo's left shoulder as Gerard comes set. A look back to second. Now he comes home. DeSantolo, big cut and a miss through a fastball high. It's 1-2. Well, Jared trying to come up big with that pitch. A big cut and a miss through the last swing. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. So Gerard just 1 pitch away from wrapping this one up. It would be Falmouth's 14th win of the season. But Hyannis trying to put that on hold for now as DeSantolo steps out as time's called. Hyannis has been a part of a lot of late inning drama down the stretch in recent games. And this one tonight from McKeon Park, no different. Teams even in the hit column at 6 apiece. A 1-2 count to DeSantolo. The pitch from Gerard. Fastball laced left side atop the Hyannis dugout foul. So Jared getting a piece with 2 strikes to stay alive and keep the ball game going for the time being. Ian Fair's been a hot hitter, waits on deck if DeSantolo can find a way aboard. For Jared tonight, it's been an 0-for-3 day. Trying to change all that here in his 4th plate appearance against Thomas Gerard. Gerard a long pause as he gets a sign from Klotz. The 1-2. DeSantolo, ground ball right side. Tawa snags it on the dive, throw to first, and it is in time for the out. And that is how the ball game ends. Tim Tawa with a spectacular sprawling play onto the right field grass. DeSantolo gave it a dive up the first baseline, but not enough as the throw beats DeSantolo by an eyelash, and that is how the ball game ends. Falmouth hangs on to win it 2-0 tonight from McKeon Park. Hyannis gave them a run for their money in the bottom of the 9th inning, but not to be. Falmouth hangs on for their 14th win of the season tonight from McKeon Park.
Well, just a tough one tonight, and a pitcher's duel at its prime. Franco Alamon, Connor Ash, and then a battle of the bullpens as well. I mean, the first place you have to look is nowhere but the FIU Al Franco Alamon. 7 shutout. He struck out 6, and he was absolutely dazzling, giving up just the 4 hits. So for Falmouth, they got the 2 runs, the Baron Radcliffe home run in the 7th, and of course the Trey Cruz RBI single in the 1st. That ended up being the deciding run all the way back in the 1st frame. But for Hyannis, they fought at it till the end, like you said, Brendan, a pitcher's duel to say the least. But Falmouth, just enough offense to squeak one out.
And not a lot of offense from either side to speak of, as obviously Hyannis was kept off the scoreboard tonight. The pitching really is what stands out from the ball game tonight from both sides. As you mentioned, Connor Ash, who was absolutely dazzling. But tonight, Franco Alamon was just a bit better. Went 7 scoreless innings, gave up just 4 hits, And the all-star to follow him, Logan Hoffman, went a perfect inning, striking out the side in that frame. And Thomas Gerard slamming the door, but not before Hyannis made things a bit interesting. But ultimately, it would be the Commodores to come into McKeon Park tonight and hang on for their 14th win of the summer. So with that, the final lines for both sides one last time. For the victorious Falmouth Commodores, 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors. For Hyannis, who falls to 6-22-1 on the season, no runs on 6 hits and no errors to speak of. That'll just about do it for us here from McKeon Park tonight. We thank you so much for spending your evening with us. For Lyle Goldstein, I'm Brendan Howe. We'll talk to you tomorrow night on the road from White House Field in Harwich. First pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock. We'll talk to you then.